coming out. So know your place. It's a newly formed team. Krenko is in Know Your Place. He has been a player that has played in Singapore once before, and he's been in the Indian circuit for a round. We thought that he took a break, but now he's showing himself back again in this tournament. As for Stormraiders, they were the champions in the Rise of Legion tournament, and I'm looking forward to see what Stormraiders is going to pull out this qualifiers, because they were the champions, and I'm actually expecting to see them dominate their competition. What do you think, Potato?
Yeah, obviously, Storm Raiders winning the last tournament that we had around here, great things are expected of them. It was they did drop a game to Super Six in the group stages, so it'll be interesting to see how they recover from that. And maybe if they win here, we could see a finals between Storm Raiders and Super Six, and that would be super interesting.
Yeah, and we see the Irelia first pick coming out from the side of Storm Raiders. Key to Victory is going to play this Irelia. He has proven to be very, very mechanically good at tough champions in the past few tournaments. So I'm looking forward to seeing Key to Victory on that Irelia pick. We see Akali and Renekton from the side of Know Your Place. No, Akali is a really good champion in the current meta. She has insane bursts, and she's a very, very mobile pick. Renekton as well, he's a lot like a lane bully. We see the on being banned out so that they can play this Renekton pick. Renekton versus Irelia, what do you think that matchup is going to bring for us?
Well, I'm not really good at top lane, but as far as I know, I think the Renekton should be winning those early trades, but Irelia definitely, I think, has the scaling advantage. But what's really interesting here is to see the focus on Unknowngi's champion pool. They've banned out the Yasuo and the Vega and taken away the Irelia. So they're really trying to pinch a champion pool.
Yes, and we see Zaya and Lissandra coming out. Lissandra is a great pick because of her passive. Those Frost Knights, they're really, really good in a team fight setup. Zaya is also a very safe AD carry. I'm guessing that this Zaya pick is to make sure that Renekton and Akali can't get to her very easy and bust her down, because she does have the escape potential using her ultimate. We see the Rek'Sai being locked in by Know Your Place. Overall, both the team comps, they're kind of iffy. I think we should see what the last two picks are going to be on both sides. We see a Rakan ban coming out from the side of Know Your Place. That's great because they don't want that Zaya Rakan synergy to be there. What do you think?
Yeah, the Zaya Rakat synergy is definitely something to watch out for. Definitely one of the most strong bot lane combos you can run, if not. What's really interesting is
Yeah, all right. Not to worry. That was just a bit of technical difficulty. We see Thresh is being banned, and Leona. Look, so now they are targeting the support picks. Like we said, the supports right now, they have a lot of presence. They are the ones that have to control the map, get that vision, and find the opportunities for their teammates to take down objectives. So looking at Rakan, Leona, and Blitzcrank band on the side of Know Your Place, I wonder what Krenko, I believe that he is the support, what he's going to play. It looks like it's probably going to be utility picks for both sides. Morgana Thresh, Tam Kench banned on the side of Storm Raiders. We do see Nautilus. I think that's great strategy from Know Your Place. Picking up that Nautilus, since they have the priority for that first pick in the second pick phase. That's a very good move by them. I would like to know what is their AD carry that they will like to pair up, but they have no stress because the AD carry has already been picked on the side of Storm Raiders. And now we see 3, 2, 1. What are they going to pick up? And it looks
and
like
we
there
have a
is.
disconnect.
Don't worry, guys. We'll be back very, very shortly with the champion select, and we'll go straight into the games. Hey guys, and welcome back. Due to technical difficulties, we had to take a break, but not to worry. Everything is going to go to going. This is going to go the same. The champion picks and bans are also going to be the same, right till where we left off with Storm Raiders having troubles with their fourth and fifth pick. So this is the Rift South Asian Championship qualifiers hosted by the Esports Club. My name is Apollonia, and with me is Potato. And it seems that Potato has a bit of technical difficulty, but not to worry. So, looking just a bit of a recap, we saw a lot of bans on supports coming from both sides of the teams. It looks like it's going to be a very bot lane focused game. That's what I feel. I do know that Know Your Place managed to snag that Nautilus away from Storm Raiders, but Storm Raiders they do have that Irelia pick and that Lissandra pick, which is really nice, and it's good for Storm Raiders because we know Tommy to be a really good mid laner. He can control very well, and Key to Victory has shown amazing mechanics throughout past tournaments and even in this tournament as well. So these are the qualifiers that will go into more playoffs, and it will be regional. And we seem to have a few more problems. Not to worry, guys. We'll be right back very, very shortly. All right, hey guys, and now we are back again. So, my name is Apollonia. In case none of you caught that, today with me casting is Potato Monster. We had a few technical difficulties, but now we are back. The teams will be banning the same 5 bans. They will take the same picks as well. It has stopped to the point where Storm Raiders did not figure out their fourth or fifth pick, so it will pick up from where we left off. And hey, Potato Monster. So, what do you think so far? Considering that both sides have banned out a lot of supports.
Yeah, definitely the support pool has been really cut down in this matchup, and it's I'm really excited to see Cranko on that Nautilus. He did manage to get himself a really strong support pick despite the focus on the support pool this game.
Yeah. So, well, Krenko, this is his kind of like his comeback team. He's back in this, and him on the Nautilus. I think all eyes are definitely going to be on him, and like I said before, also Irelia on Key to Victory. I'm looking forward to Termi on the Lissandra and Crixus on that Zaya. Crixus has good mechanics as an AD carry. The Zaya pick will definitely keep him very safe. So I foresee the Akali and Renekton on the side of Know Your Place. They'll have a little bit of problems with that. So we see, look, the other Leona band is coming in, and I know Thresh is also banned from Storm Raiders. But my predictions is that I think Storm Raiders is going to take this game, but we'll never know what Know Your Place is going to pull out.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And Noyo Please have a very strong early game setup up in the top lane. We haven't seen Storm Raiders jungle pick yet, but that Rek'Sai Renekton is definitely something to be scared of.
Yeah, exactly. Renekton stands in lane really well, and especially the fact that they have that on band. They want to keep that Renekton safe. I thought that they were gonna um ban out more champs, directed like Storm Raiders to ban out more AD carry champs, but they didn't. They focused on the supports instead. So, looking at Renekton against the Irelia, I feel that it's a lot like a skill matchup kind of thing. I'm not sure who's going to take the win in top lane, but Irelia is definitely like Key to Victory. He's definitely going to pull out some tricks. And now we are back into the second pick phase. I know it's going to be a Nautilus pick from the side of Know Your Place. What do you think about that Rek'Sai jungle from the side of Know Your Place?
I really like it because oh well, here we go again. Because these lane with the Renekton and the Nautilus in top and bot, the Rek'Sai has a very easy way to gank those lanes. Both those champions can set up ganks really well, and that can help Noyo. snowball this game completely out of control.
Yeah, and we see that there's another technical difficulty. Don't worry, guys, we'll be right back with the games. Just stick around and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. We'll be streaming all of the qualifier games. This is going to be the first one to determine which team is going to go into the first or third seed. So we got to see what happens. So we'll be right back very, very shortly. Welcome back. There seems to be a lot of bugs because of the new patch. You know, the new TFT patch has come out. Sometimes this happens. It would take like a few days to stabilize. So do bear with us. It's unfortunately not in our control. So it's me, Apollonia, today that will be casting, and it's also Potato Monster. So I have no idea where Potato went, but that's okay. So we're going back into the picks. Let's hope this goes really quick. It's been our fourth or fifth time looking at this tragic. Um, do let us know what you think. Which teams you are supporting, which team you want to make to the first seed, and which one you don't want them to win and they go to the third seed. I mean, that's me, but you know, chat is always open for discussion. And they're moving really fast in the pick and bans. It's kind of funny. And looking at wow, I really don't know what to expect. Looking at both the picks so far because I know the fourth pick from Know Your Place is the Nautilus, and then on the side of Stormraiders, well, they still haven't picked anything, but Stormraiders, they look very, very stable right now. They were the champions of the last tournament, so they are a team that everyone has to be careful of. You know, they have had history together playing with each other. I know they're close friends. That Nautilus gets locked in. And what is Crixus going to pick? Let's hope that it does not bug out here. Is it going
Uh,
to bug out? And Potato is back. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Okay, the Alistair pick. I actually like this Alistair pick here because it offers a lot of disengage that Stormraiders could really use against that comp. Oh boy, are we going to see SK on main?
Oh wow. I do like the Alistar pick as well. You know, he has very good disengage. He has really good engages too. And we see Sejuani being picked up. That's great because Sejuani's passive can be utilized with the Alistar and the Irelia pick, you know, the melees, and then they stack it up and they stun their opponent. So that's going to be very good, stopping Akali and Renekton diving in. And that is a Caitlyn pick on the side of Know Your Place. Looking at both compositions, do you think one has the upper hand?
Uh, I'm kind of favoring Know Your Place here. They have a really strong top and bot lane matchup, and Akali should be able to do decent against the Irelia, especially the Lissandra. I'm expecting Akali to go mid here, of course. They could flex it around, but I expect Akali to go against the Lissandra. And after the nerfs, Akali should be able to farm up safely against the Lissandra.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
the uh, the the question for me is Rek'Sai able to get his lanes rolling in the early game? Because that for me is what Know Your Place's win condition is. Winning the early game and then just taking it away from there.
That's true. That's true. Both teams do indeed rely a lot on that early lead that they can get. Like for top lane, Irelia versus Renekton. If Irelia is a hit, she's just going to wreck and steamroll in one of the side lanes. It's also the same for Renekton as well. If he gets that lead, he's going to steamroll over Irelia. There's two teleports on both sides, so it's going to be a lot of map control and a lot of map play because the mid laners have that teleport as well. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I feel that Stormraiders, like, they don't have that much damage, but if they can channel all the gold into Irelia and Xayah, it's going to look good for them. As for Know Your Place, they got to get the gold into the Renekton, Akali, and Caitlyn. So that's going to be a little bit more hectic on the side of Know Your Place, if you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah. So even though Storm Raiders, I feel, as a comp, they do not have that much damage. This comp can kite really well with the Xayah, the Lissandra, and the Alistair. And the
Yeah.
Xayah especially is kind of hard to dive with the ultimate. So as long as they play these team fights properly and they are even in gold in the mid to late game, I think they can win team fights.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Most definitely. So we're now in the spectators delay, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. This tournament is hosted by the Esports Club. It is the rival South Asian Championship. We're now in the qualifiers, the first qualifiers. So the team that wins, they'll be in the first seed, and the team that loses, they'll be in the third seed. The top three teams from India will battle it out with Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, all the South Asian countries. So that's going to be very exciting. And there's something that I noticed that's really, I don't know how to feel about it. So, Lissandra is really good at roaming, right? And Alistair, on the side of Storm Raiders, they're going to be able to roam and help their jungler Sejuani a lot. But I do feel that they're lacking that early game damage as compared to Know Your Place. So I think if Know Your Place can identify that and capitalize, it will work out for them really well. I feel that it really depends heavily on Accurate, who's on the rec side. Like, yeah, like what you said. How is he going to be able to pull off ganks against something like Storm Raiders and get that lead? Or else, Akali or Renekton is going to fall off. It's going to be hard for them to get that damage.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll be watching the top lane matchup really closely this game because I feel that that's where most of the action is going to be. Dead Corporal, especially considering that Dead Corporal is in that top lane, you can almost always expect something to go down there in the first 6 minutes.
That's so true. That's so true. Dead Corporal in in the top lane. So now we are moving into the loading screen. It is going to be hype, hype, hype. Storm Raiders, this could be a walk in the park for them, or it could not be, because Know Your Place has started to prove themselves as, like, they're not one of the teams that have been together for a very long time as compared to Storm Raiders, particularly. But they know what they're doing, because individual players from Know Your Place, they know what they are doing. It's not like they are newbies at tournaments. They have played tournaments quite a bit. And looking at the keystones, any keystones that look particularly scary or odd to you?
I think everything is but standard run of the mill stuff at right now. Nobody's trying anything spicy, to say the least.
Yeah, nothing much. Okay, Rek'Sai with Hail of Blades, I like that a lot. The Renekton with that Conqueror, I rally with the Conqueror. I'm looking so forward to what's going to happen in the top lane and in the bot lane as well. And now we have come into game. It looks like there is a little bit of a pause. Exciting, exciting, exciting. So what do you think is going to be the route for both the junglers on both sides? Like, what do you think they're going to look to focus on early game?
I think Rexa is definitely going to look to focus the top side this match. So I'm guessing he'll either start at his blue and then path top side, or he'll try to split the map vertically.
Mm, yeah, it really depends on what they have in idea that would help them get through the early game. So if Rek'Sai and Sejuani, they want to capitalize on killing the top laners and also getting their top laner fed, because it's Renekton and Irelia, you know. If they get that early push, it's going to be great for them. They're going to be able to just roll it down their lane. I wonder if both Rek'Sai and Sejuani are going to start with the same pathing idea of going into the top lane. That would be cool because we'll see early clashes. Or are they going to path down to the bottom lane? Because you know, Alistar and Nautilus, they are great support champions if you want to engage a fight.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like Noyo Place definitely has the advantage in early game strength here. So Storm Raiders will have to be kind of wary of that.
Yeah, and we see this pause. You know, it's customary at this point. We always have pauses every game. There's so much glitching. It looks like some players can't reconnect into the game. That's fine. It'll just take a while. So everyone, do be patient. Do let us know as well in the chat who you're supporting, which team you're supporting, what your predictions are going to be. This is a best of 3 today. So the first team to have 2 wins under their belt, they will be in the first seed, the first and second seed of the tournament. And now we see that it has resumed. Hype, 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 and look at everyone is so flashy with the skins. You know, we see Crixus with that Zaya skin. I really love it. Skins are my thing. Um, what do
Like,
you think, Potato Monster? Is there any skins that catches your eye? We see Storm Raiders moving
like
together now.
I really just can't give my attention to any other skin when Mukau Alistair is on the map. The
That's
Storm
very
Raiders
true.
is trying to invade here. Noyo Place has put down a ward in the jungle entrance. They do know that Alistair has probably warded their red buff. So let's see what they do with that invade. And it's interesting because SK and Nautilus have pushed into the bot side jungle of Storm Raiders and they have got some vision down there themselves. The ward is going to be cleared out by the Sejuani. It's smart of Dragoon to have expected this.
Yes,
And
it
he's
is.
able to clear away all the vision.
Yeah, exactly. It is in Dragoon's nature to always pick up that early sweeper's lens. I've played a few games with him, you know, he likes that early lens in situations like this. He doesn't like his pathing to be messed up. We do see another pause, but let's put that aside. Seems to be some issue on the side of Know Your Place. But Dragoon with that early sweepers, it helps a lot. Like Rek'Sai, I don't think Rek'Sai managed to get anything out of his sweepers, but for Dragoon, that's really good. He did clear 2 wards. We see 1 CS for both his mid lane and his AD carry. So, you know, early CS wins games, I'm guessing.
Okay, yeah, this lead is too much. I have to give it to Storm Raiders now.
The lead is going to win then the game, I'm guessing.
They're already losing early game. But yeah, we see both junglers starting out both sides, and both bot lanes are leashing. So very standard so far. Nothing, nothing spicy going on.
Yeah, and we see Accurate just getting his blue buff. Dragoon is moving from his red buff to the Raptors. Some top lane action. We see King coming in with a bit of no harass, and Krenko is making a very big advance, but misses the hook on Crixus and Rusty. But they still seem to be zoning them pretty well.
You can already see the aggression coming down out from the bot lane in Noyo Place. They know they have the early game advantage, and they're using that to get priority here. Oh, but SK gets chunked there.
Oh, we see a hook coming in from Krenko. You know, Crixus getting a little bit of damage taken, but nothing too severe. Termi and EDX dot in the mid lane. It's an Akali versus the Sandra. I'm not too sure about this matchup. Who do you think actually has the better lane presence here?
Early game, I guess Lissandra. Early game, it's
I think it's hard
Lissandra
to
being
tell,
a
right?
range champion obviously has the advantage, but Akali has already hit that level 3, so she should be able to look for all ins, but the Lissandra route can very easily deny that.
Yes, that's very true. And we look at Sejuani invading the jungle. Looks like Sejuani is going to look to disturb the Rek'Sai and his red buff. Are they going to meet? We are not too sure. We see a lot of action happening here in the bot lane. Pings are flying across the map in the top side. What is going on? So Dragoon gets out safe. Typical Dragoon move, you know, he loves to go deep into the jungle, but he always manages to get out safe. Not much is happening the first 3 minutes. First blood is still there, very very early in the game. But I like that Know Your Place has gained scuttle control, scuttle vision in the top side of the map. We see an early ward placed down by the Renekton. Nice start for Know Your Place.
Yeah, the Renekton is going to be pretty safe up in that top lane, and he is pushing the lane in, so he does need that vision.
Yes, and I'd like to point out that Akali is CSing really well, EDX Doc. He is right now the highest on the board, that's great. And we see Irelia going in for an engage onto the Renekton. Renekton slices and dices, the stun does get onto him, but wow, Renekton takes a big chunk of health back. I don't think that was a favorable trade for Irelia.
No, definitely not. Renekton manages to win that trade, and Irelia blows almost all of her mana to get the damage done to him, which he almost instantly heals up.
Exactly, that was not good for Irelia at all. You know, bot lane, we see Krenko is a very aggressive support. We look at the way that he is zoning them. He doesn't want Xayah to CS properly. Like, you know, you can see Caitlyn has more CS. A little bit of harass coming in from the Akali onto the Lissandra. I think Doc is playing really well. I think Krenko's playing well as too. We see Dragoon looking for a gank, but it seems that there is a gank that's going to happen. A flash was popped. Rusty is trying to stun the Nautilus. A teleport comes in. Krenko hooks Dragoon. Dragoon is going to go down because Ignite is on him. That was a great teleport from Akali. First blood goes to Know Your Place.
So Stormraiders here really disrespecting the teleport coming out from the mid lane, Akali.
And we see Lissandra claws in, and Irelia gets the finishing blow onto Renekton. That is one death for King. A great counter roam coming out from the side of Stormraiders. You know, they lost their jungler in the bot lane. That's fine. We will kill the Renekton in the top lane. That's perfect, because jungler for top laner, I think it's worth. That's pretty okay.
And that's really that's some smart play coming out there. Instantly managing to get something out in the top lane, and Dragoon is ganking bot lane yet again.
Oh my gosh, Dragoon is relentless. Another teleport is coming in. This time it is Renekton showing himself. Irelia also teleports. A lot of damage coming out. Is Krenko going to live? Crixus flashes out to safety. Oh my gosh, what is happening? King, is he going to go down? He is struggling for his life. Irelia goes in so deep. King pops the flash. Irelia throws out her ulti. Nothing is going to happen. Dragoon very, very aggressive. King with the spin. Dog gets a kill. People are dying left, right, and center. This is not looking good for Stormraiders at all, but Krenko goes down. Is Crixus going to be able to pull out a kill? Dog gets a quadra kill in the bot lane. That was insane. That did not work out very well for Stormraiders. Dog is popping right off.
Okay, that was just a disaster. Now, it did look like that was going in the favor of Stormraiders as the two TPs came in, because they were able to chunk the bot lane for Know Your Place really hard before the solo laners were able to come into the fight. But after that, they decided to go with a really questionable dive and end up feeding the Caitlyn a quadra kill. That is not looking good, and this Xayah is going to have a really hard time against that Caitlyn. We see BS Sword and Pickaxe being picked up 4-0 at 7 minutes in the...
That is insane. Yes, the Caitlyn is so ahead right now. 400 gold shut down on her head. The first dragon is the Infernal. It looks like Know Your Place is looking to get this under their belt. They want this Infernal, you know, the increased damage. I don't know what Dragon is doing. Popping in into the pit and back out. Caitlyn is really ahead right now. This is good for Know Your Place. Stormraiders, they proved to be the strongest team last tournament, but have they actually met their match right now? Rusty looking to... Oh wow, Krenko hits the hook onto Rusty. That does not look great for the Alistar. So much damage on him. Pulverized, tries to run away. was not successful. That was a free kill for Know Your Place. Wow, wow,
So it
wow.
seems that this game is just starting to snowball out of control. Stormraiders Noyo Plays managed to get the Infernal Dragon, and Rusty Panda was completely out of position there. I do not know what he was thinking, because there's nothing he would have possibly done to stop that.
Right, and Crixus pops the ulti thinking that he was going to take a lot of damage and die. Krenko is actually playing really well. He has 6 assists. That is 6. That is all of the participation in this game right now. He has made a difference in every kill, and we see a trait going off. The stun lands on Renekton. Renekton takes back health from Irelia. Why does Key to Victory keep doing this? He is a very known player, but he is going to go in with a full-on engage. And Renekton pops the ulti and he's like, nope, not gonna do it. And Key to Victory just backs off.
Players just having a showdown. Both of them trade their ults, but Renekton does seem to be getting the better of the Irelia in this matchup right now.
Yeah.
He is up around like 15 CS. It's almost 20 right now, but that should even out a bit after Irelia catches this wave. We do see Rek'Sai moving up to the top side. Let's see if they're able to establish some vision control and try to get this Rift Herald. That should be the next objective for them, considering the 2.2k goal lead they're sitting at right now. And that's actually effectively even more because they do have the Infernal Dragon on their side.
Yes. With the 2k goal lead, right now Know Your Place is showing so much dominance over Stormraiders. But it doesn't seem like Stormraiders is particularly panicking, you know? They're still going back to their lanes. They're still able to hold themselves. Krenko clearing out vision wards. Right now, Know Your Place, well, they're in a good place. They know their own place. And I hope that they keep this lead up with a plan. We see a random ulti coming out from Dog. No clue why. Akali is in a very comfortable spot right now. She has her items. She got early kills. It's going to be difficult to deal with her. Right now, both the carries on the side of Know Your Place, they have the items, they are fed, basically. It's not looking good for Stormraiders because their specific carries aren't really fed, but it's tough because how are they going to play against Caitlyn and Akali this early in the game? They would have to pick out a mistake that Know Your Place might do.
Yeah, it really needs it needs to be a mistake coming out from Know Your Place at this point for them to get a decent sized lead in this game and try to bounce back. But definitely the bot lane, it is not fun playing against a 4-0 Caitlyn.
Definitely not. That is a recipe for disaster. You know, it's 11 minutes into the game. Looking at the plates, not much plates have been taken on both sides. It's just kind of I see Rek'Sai at the top side of the map. I want him to get that Rift Herald. Somebody take that Rift Herald. You know, Worlds has been happening. We're waiting for the finals to happen. We see so many teams prioritize getting that early Rift Herald the moment it spawns, and then taking that Rift Herald and putting it in a lane and getting all of the tower plates and basically putting that goal into a laner that they want. And usually it happens in the top lane. They use that Rift Herald to get that top laner fed, and I want to see it in these games. Krenko connects a hook onto Dragoon. Dragoon gets an ignite popped onto him, throws out his ulti, Tell-Me with the flash, and Caitlyn, too much damage, finishes off Dark Dragoon. Key to Victory happens to come down. He is putting a lot of damage onto Dog. Dog tries to survive, but that's 500 gold for Key to Victory. Is he going to pursue Dog? No, he's not. Tell-Me is making a very... Wow, that decision from Tell-Me, I'm a loss for words. Dog, that was not a great spot for you because, oh wow, Tell-Me didn't die and neither did Key to Victory. That was a lot of shutdown gold for Irelia. She is going to pop off right now. Rek'Sai with the Rift Herald and popped it top lane. It looks like there are two people that has just teleported to top. Fight is breaking out. Another Kiwi coming in. Is Tell-Me and Key to Victory going to live? No, they are not. Renekton is low. Key to Victory looks like he's about to die. But Dog does not manage to get the finishing kill. Accurate, however, does. Tell-Me is looking to kill Accurate, but King flashes in. What is going to happen? That is a double kill for Tell-Me. This actually, wow, it's a 2 for 2. But Know Your Place is going to get that tower with all the plates. And Dragoon comes in with the finish. What just happened? Potato Monster, what just
That
happened?
was like 2 minutes of constant non-stop fight. People died, respawned, and then went back to get right back into the action and die again. It's just insane.
Oh my gosh, and look
The
at
real
Rusty
high
coming in
lane.
hard. Wow, Rusty popping the ulti, but he still seems to be tanking the tower. Dog, Crixus blocks the ulti accidentally, autos the ward. Wow, Crixus, be careful right there. I don't know what Rusty was trying to do. Dog is insane right now. Look at key to victory. Is he gonna engage onto the Akali? Akali is safe. Oh my goodness. You know, so many things has happened. It looks like Storm Raiders was coming back. But it also looked like Know Your Place was actually holding themselves. 2k goal difference at 14 minutes. I don't think it's much difference. I think right now, both teams have to figure out a plan and carry it through.
This is just like non-stop fighting without end. But Pixis did get the bounty on the Caitlyn. So, in my opinion, Storm Raiders definitely got the upper hand in the fight down in the bottom lane, bot side river. But
Yeah.
Renekton they do manage to counter that with a play up top side, getting all the plates on that tower.
Yes, and we see Ocean Drake being secured by Know Your Place. That's great for them. One Inferno, one Ocean Drake. You know, Ocean Drake always benefits the side lane, so I think this is going to be good for Renekton. But we see Accurate diving in for a kill onto Key to Victory. That is not looking good for him. Dragoon pops the ulti, doesn't manage to keep him stunned. Gets a little bit of damage done onto himself. It's not great for Key to Victory. He tried, you know, he roamed, got the kills, but people are just diving him. And here is Termi coming in with the backup. Storm Raiders is not looking bright for them. You know, they were the champions of the last tournament. But Know Your Place is a new team coming up. They do have a very cocky name, but look at this engage right here onto Rusty. Franco is tanking so much damage, but he knows when to leave. Dog is looking to out Rusty, but does not get the kill because Dragon is going to be there for his teammate. Know Your Place is just popping right off. Like right now, it's just unstoppable. Cranko with the hook again onto Termi. Dog is putting in all that damage. Cranko flashes out to safety. He does live. Termi comes back in with the finishing blow, but Dog gets the kill. Insane. I think that was that worth? Do you think that was worth?
Oh, that was definitely not worth. Yeah, Termi did get the kill on the Nautilus, but he also fed another 300 gold to the Caitlyn, and that damage that was done to the Alistar, that was through his ultimate. And that's how far ahead this Caitlyn is right now. Sitting on an Infinity Edge Circus and those Brawlers gloves deals an insane amount of damage. And SK just picks up another kill in the mid lane there.
Yeah, that is, oh my goodness. This game has been a fiesta. So many fights were breaking out across the map. I'm very surprised at the way that Accurate is playing on the Rex side. I like it a lot because I suspected that he was going to suffer the most. I actually thought that Dragoon was going to be dominating, but a few early mistakes on the side of Sejuani, it really did cost his team. The goal difference is 4k, that is substantial, but it's still comebackable in this sense. They still can look for a good catch, you know, if they figure that Caitlyn is the one that they have to take down first. I think it could work in Storm Raiders' favor that way.
Yeah, if they do have the Lissandra ultimate and the Irelia dive, so if they can get a solid engage onto the Caitlyn, they can win fights that way. But yeah, it's definitely not looking too good for Storm Raiders right now, with Know Your Place pushing into the top side jungle and getting some vision there.
Yeah, and we see Key to Victory, you know, putting a little bit of harass onto that Renekton. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. It's like they're trying to establish dominance right now. Storm Raiders is doing a great job zoning out Know Your Place. It looks like Termi wants to go for an engage on Franco. Franco tries to anchor himself to safety. He pops his ulti. He is safe. I don't know if that's going to be good for them. But we see Accurate just coming in again onto Key to Victory. King finishes the kill. If he didn't, Accurate was going to do that. The Rex side, right now I love what Know Your Place is doing. And here again, Rusty is going to die, but what is this pause? Oh my goodness, Know Your Place
it's a
is
disconnect.
Oh, he was disconnected. That's why this kill was about to happen. So you see, Rek'Sai is just camping for the Renekton at this point. Key to victory is not having a great time. Storm Raiders has not identified this. They're still putting all of their energy in the mid lane because they are afraid of their Caitlyn. But they need to understand that key to victory on the Irelia, that is one of their win conditions. They got to make sure that the Irelia is ahead. They got to make sure that the Zaya is ahead. But no, they are in the mid lane, just looking out for Lissandra, what I'm guessing. Like, what is Dragoon doing at this point? Why is he not there for his jungler?
So the idea here was that they saw the Neo plays bot lane alone in the mid lane, and they knew they had a numbers advantage over there, so they did try to engage. But Kranko, with the beautiful hook that he buffers it over the Lissandra ulti and manages to survive that. And the moment Rek'Sai sees that they have three people in the mid lane, he decides to go and dive that Irelia, and that just gives another kill to the Renekton, who is really, really far ahead at this point in time.
Yeah, this is wow. I really, I feel honestly that Drago needs to step up. He needs to start seeing and understanding what the plan that Know Your Place has. They're just trying to get that top tower. They're breaking the defense in the top lane, and it looks like the mid lane as well. I think they are working towards controlling maybe an early Baron. That's what I feel it might be. Look at Caitlyn just putting all this damage, all that range that she has. That IE with the Zeal, it's insane for her at this point. Krenko is just keeping his AD carry safe. King and accurate. They managed to get the tier 2 in the top lane. Right now, Storm Raiders hasn't even gotten a single tower. Know Your Place has 3. The goal difference is significant now. It's 6k. Dragon looks like he's trying to go in with an engage on Krenko, but Crixus is in a very, very vulnerable position, and a crit just comes in. I am at loss for words. Like, what is happening? A crit just finishes off Crixus. We see somebody is going to die now. Rek'Sai dies. Storm Raiders just turned a fight into what seems to not be in their favor. That was like in Know Your Place's favor, but it wasn't. It just got completely turned around by Storm Raiders, and I think that is the experience that they have. Key to victory is now sticking to his team, and he always has a great display of skill whenever he does that.
So I actually think that was a misplay by SK.
Yeah, and we look at another engage coming in. The ulti gets popped off by the Nautilus. Is it going to be for Storm Raiders? Renekton flashes off to safety, but Irelia dies. Key to victory, the main damage dealer is not there. Rusty goes down. Dragon is running. He has no mana, gets hooked by Krenko. Tummy is trying to survive. He wants his life. He protobelts away. Nothing happens. Crixus back in with just 2 feathers, and looks like it's a...
So that was just a beautiful play by Know Your Place. They were a man down in that fight, but they knew that everyone from Storm Raiders had wasted key spells trying to kill Caitlyn, so they knew that they could go for this fight, and they were then just able to run down the remaining members. And Mani did run out of mana in that fight, which definitely didn't do them any favors.
Exactly. What looked like was Storm Raiders' advantage was actually Know Your Place's advantage. They were so smart to focus onto the Irelia first. And when Irelia died in that 4v3 situation, they completely turned it and killed them and just left one member surviving on the side of Storm Raiders. So Know Your Place has been turning their fights really well. And that's good, because even if they're making a mistake, they seem to be making up for the mistakes. Storm Raiders is too hasty. They keep trying to push for the advantage, but they gotta play it slow. There's an 8k goal difference at this point. It's hard. They have lost towers in the top lane and in the mid lane. Baron control looks very bright for Know Your Place at this point.
Yeah, what I would have liked to have seen would have been Storm Raiders using the man advantage to try and get vision around Baron, and then maybe try to get a pick. But instead, they try to push down the mid tower when they didn't have the cooldown. The Know Your Place was able to punish them for that, and they're back in the driver's seat right now.
Yes, and we see a fight is breaking out. We see Lissandra TP's first. Akali coming in with the TP. It doesn't look good for Storm Raiders. All of the damage is going to be put in, and it looks like they're going to go down one by one. Know Your Place is slowly taking down all of the members. Only Tummy is left, and that is a clean ace for Know Your Place. Amazing. This team showing so much dominance. This is the first match of the best of three. Stormraiders, they were the champions last tournament, but it looks like Know Your Place is actually living up to their name.
So this is, at this point, the goal difference is just too
Wow,
much.
wait,
And
is that actually a surrender? 3 votes and 0. Wait, what? Okay, that was a surrender. So the first game is actually going to go to Know Your Place. What are your afterthoughts?
the Know Your Place definitely playing really, really well, especially in the early game, using their champions to the best of their ability. We saw the Rek'Sai was able to get both the scuttles in the early game. Dragoon tried to invade the Rek'Sai at the top side of the map, even though Renekton had priority in that lane and ends up having to run away, wastes a lot of time, and then he has to recall to base, and Rek'Sai was able to capitalize instantly and get that scuttle grab. After that, we saw that fight down in bottom lane,
Mm-hmm.
where Noyo Place kind of got an advantage. Storm Raiders did get a chance to redeem themselves with another play in the bot lane, but they decided to dive the Noyo Place bot lane and ended up giving the Caitlyn a quadra kill, which for
Yeah,
is basically where the game was. The game was basically over. You do not give the enemy ADC a quadra kill at 7 minutes into the game.
exactly. Very perfectly summed up where the turning point was for Know Your Place. It was actually so early in the game. That early quadra kill just like Caitlyn just stirred out of control. She dealt the most damage. Definitely the MVP of this match. I would also like to point out that I felt that the jungler, Rek'Sai, did really well alongside Renekton in gaining that dominance in the top lane, completely shutting out Irelia. So the first game does go to Know Your Place. The second game will come back very shortly. So do stay tuned, guys. The casters for this first game is myself, Apollonia, and with me was Potato Monster. I'll see y'all next game.
User disconnected from your channel. User joined your channel.
Hello.
Sound muted. User left your channel. User joined your channel.
is
Sound
the
resumed.
second match of the best of three, the Rift South Asian Championship qualifiers by the Esports Club. So do subscribe to this YouTube channel. We will be streaming all of the games. I'll be one of your casters today. My name is Apollonia, and with me is Bishi.
What's up, Apollonia? And wow, dude, the first game that we saw of this series was quite exciting with New York Place making a very, very strong showing with a really good performance coming out from each individual member. What are your thoughts on the game once so far, Apo?
So, Storm Raiders, they are a strong team. They got champions the last time. I cannot let go of this. My view, and being so new to the scene, I see Storm Raiders as a team that just works really well together. What was unfortunate for them was that they had net issues. And Know Your Place, they are a great team as well because they pushed their full advantage when they could. They had an early quadra in the first game. That was basically their turning point, and they just kept pushing their lead constantly in the top lane, trying to shut down Key to Victory, which they actually did succeed in. And it was just an FF from STR because they had net issues and they knew that Know Your Place were actually
Yeah.
a relatively strong team.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. There was just a mental reset when you just know that this game is beyond winning. It's best to just FF somehow and just go for game two because you know that the game is not going to be a victory anyways. And I feel that Storm Raiders needed that mental reset to come back in game two because this is still a best of three series, right? And I would love to just go into picks and bans, Apollonia, because it seems like the Rice first pick is coming out from Know Your Place, but that's immediately responded by a Yasuo that could go mid, could go top, or potentially could go ADC. So really good flex pick coming out right there from Storm Raiders. And what do you feel this game like in terms of mental, right? When you lose a game one, how do you come back in game two, in your opinion? Like, what are the things that you can do to get yourself back in this game? Because Storm Raiders are not out of it yet. If they win the next two, they will qualify. But Know
Yeah.
Your Place just looks so comfortable right now, especially with their solo lanes being picked in the first two picks already. Quite interesting drafts coming out right there from Know Your Place.
It seems that Know Your Place did this in the first game as well, where they just hurriedly picked mid lane, their mid laner and their top laner. It seems that they want to get priority on their champion picks and not give the opponent a chance to ban what they're comfortable playing. So you see, the Renekton was immediately picked up. Rice was a first pick. I'm guessing that Doc in the mid lane. Wow, Doc and Dog are like so
Yeah.
similar. Yeah,
So,
but Doc is it Doc in the mid lane?
yeah, that's essentially Spartacus.
Right.
You could definitely see them swapping out lanes because the Renekton can go mid as well. There are certain composition in which it works. Having said that, the Jax pickup is definitely not one that a Renekton can shy away from early. In fact, he has a big advantage in the early game. But as long as the game goes, that Jax once he reaches level 6, level 9, gets his Triforce, there are multiple opportunities for him to completely outscale. But that's exactly why I feel Know Your Place have drafted the Zen Zhao and not the Ivan because their plan is to shut Key to Victory just like they did in the first game after he got ahead, and I think that would be a great way for them to get another victory off the board and win the series because it didn't look like Storm Raiders had a response to the top lane annihilation or the top lane focus that Know Your Place was giving. And this time they need to switch it up because your Jax is not going to be strong early. And if he gets camped by that Zinza or Renekton, which is a lethal 2v2 combination, that'll be really hard for Storm Raiders to come back from. So there is a bit of scaling on that side. I'm looking forward to seeing what ADs get picked up as well. As you can see, Kaisa, Caitlyn get banned. So all of your popular ADs there's like 4 AD bans or yeah, 4 AD bans coming out so far. So and the AD will be last pick. So very interesting drafts in my opinion from what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, usually we see the Yasuo and the Gragas in the bot lane, but I think, Termi, he's a very decent Yasuo. I remember him on that champion. So what I'm guessing is that the Yasuo is going to go to Termi, and the Gragas is probably going to go to Dragoon because they did pick up a Thresh, and Rusty will be playing it. Rusty did have net issues. I hope this Thresh works out for him this game. Looking at Know Your Place, they did pick up the Leona. I don't know, like Leona versus Thresh. I usually try not to play like a Leona versus Thresh because Thresh can stop your engage.
Yeah, it's
But
not
Leona,
exactly a
yeah.
counter pick coming out right there, right? So, what do you think that reason could be behind the Leona pickup? Oh, okay. The Ash is falling up right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So this Ashe pick, Leona bot lane, I like it a lot. Ashe cannot get hooked because if she does, it's gonna be a real tough time. But judging from how The AD carry from Know Your Place played last game with the Caitlyn. He had very good positioning, and he basically maintained his lead by playing
Yeah.
so well throughout the game. So I'm excited to see this Ash on the side of Know Your Place. Looking at the full comp, which team do you think has the upper hand?
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was expecting out of Crixus. The Syndra bot lane in this matchup can be very good because now you not only have the Thresh E, but you also have the Syndra E to sort of disengage into the Leona, which kind of makes sense. But then again, the combination is so lethal at this point in the bot lane at level 6. It's going to be really difficult for New York, for Stormraiders to deal with that. My eyes will definitely be on the jungle, however, because this is, if I'm correct, right, this is Ninja Way playing for New York Place. He has been Portal's jungler for as long as I can imagine, and he has been known to be amazing since after Apollonia. So if this guy can make
Right.
plays happen in the early game, right, like the composition which really wants to scale a bit because the Jax and the Yasuo will need at least one item before they're online, like with the early game aggression from Zinza or Renekton, I am really excited to see how this works out. And it does look like it will be the Renekton in the mid lane to answer to the Yasuo, and the Rise will be in the top lane against the Jax. So I think our lanes might have been defined. And just looking at the compositions, Apollonia, what are your thoughts in terms of how each team wants to play out the early game? Because it looks like Stormraiders are going for a little bit of scaling and split push compositions again. It looks like.
What is really dodgy to me is that the Ash has a teleport, but Leona doesn't have heal. So what I'm thinking is that the way they play, they got to actually be careful with their positioning. That means this leaves no room for error from EDX Dog at all. So 3 teleports, how is that going to work out? Um, it's interesting because Know Your Place is such a like fresh team right now in this tournament. We didn't see them in the last tournament playing together. Accurate has shown a great presence in the jungle. I'm looking very forward to what Know Your Place is going to pull out. There's no
Yeah.
heal. I don't know how that's going to work out, but they can surprise us. As for Storm Raiders, it looks pretty standard. You know, the Syndra Thresh bot lane. We've seen that Gragas Yasuo, great synergy. Except I've never seen Dragoon on Gragas before. That is very different to his playstyle. He usually likes things with huge
No,
burst damage. Gragas does have that, but it's a very different way of moving around. You know.
true, true.
So yeah, I want to see how Dragoon's gonna fare on that. And key to victory, one of my favorite top laners. He didn't have a great time last game because he was getting camped. But where the moment he's in team fights, he does pull out exceptional skill. So key to victory on this Jax. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I definitely feel that even though Know Your Place is a relatively new team, these are 5 players, or at least 4 of them have been like veterans of the esports scene. And on the bot lane, you have Brutality, who's playing on an EDX account called EDX Dog. You have Cranko in the support, legendary players in the Indian LoL scene. And then to couple that off, you have mid lane, who's basically being played by Hamza, who is Pakistan's best mid, arguably South Asia's best mid laner. And you have Ninja Way, another extremely experienced guy, right? So when this team was formed, right, there was a lot of speculation because it definitely felt like this was a super team. Like it made me remind of when SKT was formed this year, when it's supposed to be the team that can carry you all to victory. This is what Know Your Place is, and they have a very talented player in the top lane in Spartacus who has already shown amazing plays on Akali as well. So there is no doubt in my mind that this team will never be underestimated purely because of the skill level of these individuals. But it's the team synergy, it's the fact that they need to play as a team, that is what they have to work out right now. And so far, it's looking really good for them. Storm Raiders, on the other hand, have been a team that have been playing together for a really long time right now, and this is going to be a test for them because I think individually Storm Raiders used to get away with winning some of these skirmishes because they were just mechanically better. But I feel against this composition, the skill level or mechanics of each laner is pretty much even at this point, which is what makes me feel okay. You know what? This is more on draft, this is more on rotations. And to answer your point on Dragoon playing Gragas, he has played a lot in a couple of years ago when he was part of White Shadows, but recently he's switched out to more carry oriented styles. But Gragas is definitely within his comfort level, and I think that might supplement. This is looking like Termi carry game. I feel the Yasuo is what we need to have our eyes on. The last time they played, Yasuo got himself really ahead in these cases, and my eyes gonna be on Termi as the game progresses to see if he can carry Storm Raiders to a 1-on-1, or will we see Know Your Places clean it out with a 2-0 and qualify for the main event that's gonna happen November 15th.
Yes, very, very well said. Um, Definitely looking forward to Dragoon on Gragas, since now that you've mentioned that he does have some experience on it. I would like to see the Predator Keystone that he's picking up. I like that very standard Gragas. Gragas does build damage. Looking at the tanky side of Storm Raiders, they're fine. They have a Thresh, they have a Jax, they're good to go. Yasuo wall, Gragas disengage. Great team comp. As for Know Your Place, Sinchao, Renekton, that's a very, very strong top jungle combo. So Jax, key to victory, has to watch out because
True.
Akrit and King were focusing him last game. If Dragoon does not sniff this out and doesn't find a way on how to stop that, it's going to be a tough time for key to victory. Overall, looking at everything is going to be cool. Ash with that teleport. There's no heal on the side of Know Your Place. I look forward to it. And just to let everyone know, this is the Rift South Asian Championship qualifiers by the Esports Club. This is the second match of the best of 3. The first game was taken by Know Your Place. It's probably it can be a clean sweep for Know Your Place, or it can be a comeback for Storm Raiders. And everybody's coming in. It's the LOL 10-year anniversary. You see all the confetti and everything. So delightful.
Definitely. It's been an amazing year for League, especially with all the new games that are announced. I am so hyped for next year, Apollonia. Are you interested in playing any of the new games that they have launched so far?
100%. 100%. Mobile games are they're completely breaking the scene right now. It's so popular as well here in India, and I hope that League of Legends, their mobile versions will take off here in India, and there will be more players. Since then, the server issues that we are facing, I hope it can be saved with the mobile version of the games.
Yeah, that's the hope we have. I'm also looking forward to the Legends Runeterra game, the card game that they've announced. It's so nice. I got to test it when I was at the event. And I just feel like with so many games, right, we are just going to be like wondering, okay, what do we play at this point? Because Riot has done a great job with LoL. And hopefully, they'll do a great job again with some of the other games. And I'm still wondering, Apollonia, like, is the Rise going mid or is he going top at this point? Or what do you think would be the right lane assignments from Know Your Place? Because now we know for a fact that Jax is not going to go mid, right? So what would you think would be the best call? Who should you send top against the Jax? And who should you send mid against the Yasuo?
I think Renekton is still going to go top and fight key to victory. I think both it's going to be a Renekton Jax top lane. It's going to be a Rise mid lane. Rise, however, will play very, very safe. And if Akrit is, that if he's going to play at the same standard that he did in the first game, he's not going to focus a lot of his energy in the mid lane before Rise does get a substantial amount of damage, because Yasuo is hard to kill. Granted that, Rise does have a snare and Sinchao does have a knockup, but Termi on Yasuo, he has shown really good skill. It's not easy to kill Termi in the mid lane at all.
True.
But then again, what if Termi is in the bot lane?
Well, it could happen, it couldn't happen, we never know, right? Both of these teams have a lot of potential to flex around the picks. This is what makes them such good teams, right? Because you never really know where they're going until the game at 1 minute and 20 seconds you see, okay, this is a lane assignment at this point.
Yes.
But I'm also looking at Akrit on the Halo Blades, Apollonia. If that guy gets a gank off, the Halo Blades damage is going to be a lot. And that's what I feel the early game pressure that Akrit can create for Know Your Place is going to be a defining factor to see if Know Your Place can actually get a lead. Because it's really going to be on that guy to make it happen, I feel. Because if he gets a few ganks off in the right lanes, gets the Renekton ahead, gets the Rise rolling, gets the bot lane ahead, and Syndra suddenly behind, does not finish a lost chapter in 7 minutes or something, it's going to be really difficult for them to make things happen. And the game does resume, so still don't know who's going where yet. We'll have to wait and watch.
But it looks like Know Your Place is charging in the top lane. One for all for one. United we stand, divided we fall.
Oh, they saw him. I think Key to Victory does point that out, ward it out. So the invade will get caught out right there. It's good on Storm Raiders to be at the right position, the right time. This will allow Rusty to put a ward around the jungle, which is what he's done at the Raptor camp. And yeah, I think so far so good for either team, but still not sure where the top is. Okay, it's going to be the Rise top, and it's going to be Renekton mid.
Oh wow, it is the Rise on top.
I feel that works for two reasons. Is because Rise scales, and Rise will have a better farming phase against the Jax than he will against the Yasuo. And on the other hand, Renekton can have ways to outplay the Yasuo as well. If Renekton Zinza gang happens mid lane, that's a pretty lethal combination too. So I actually like what Know Your Place are doing with the lane swaps. And never mind, Tormi goes what? Apollonia, all of her predictions are coming true at this point. It's gonna be Syndra in the mid lane, seeing that happen. And
Exactly. I had a mind that the Thelmy would have been in the bot lane. You know, we're so used to, oh, Thelmy is always mid. But it
yeah.
looks like Crixus is taking a step back and he's like, I'm not going to be the AD carry this time. Y'all have seen the AD carry Crixus. It's going to be the mid lane Crixus this game.
The little brother goes to middle lane, the big brother goes to the bot lane, and this is going to be an exciting matchup. But this changes dynamics, right, Apollo? Now you have a Yasuo Thresh bot lane against Ashe Leona, and I'm not really sure how that works. In the top lane, you can see already Key to Victory taking trades against the Rise, and that's going to be good because he has more sustain at this point with the Corrupting Potion. And level 2 does go on the side of King first. He will get some trades off and the pushing potential on his side, and it does look like so far aggression is being put out by the Jax in the early game, and that's how Key to Victory plays Rapulin. That's one thing he always does is play aggressive, and like he does again, just gets a nice trade off. He's still level 1, mind you, and that's a lot of health gone for him.
Yes, another thing that I like to point out, you know, how the Rise is faced against the Jax. I don't know if that's actually going to be optimal, because if you picture the Xin Zhao trying to gank a Jax with a Rise, I don't know how that's going to work out. As opposed to if Renekton was top, then it would be a Xin Zhao and Renekton trying to kill off a Jax, which I feel is more ideal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's not like Rise can't stand in the mid lane. So this placement of the Renekton and Rise from Know Your Place is, you know, catching me off guard. But we do see that the Renekton has left the mid lane. There's a little bit of a freeze, you know. There's
Yeah.
something wrong with the servers, but not to worry. We
Yeah,
do
we're
see
fine.
Renekton roaming now. I think this is why the Renekton is in the mid lane instead.
Oh, that's a lot of bad trades happening, and you could see a 4-man dive happening Apollonia because Grag is on the top side doing a full red clear on the other side. You do see, can this gank work off? This is reminding me of G2 plays right there, but that's a bad tower shot getting tank and flash coming, teleport being used as well, but that is, I'm not sure that's well played it, but here goes first blood on the side of the Renekton, but that's a 2-kill going, and that's a 3rd kill. This play was crazy by Know Your Place, but it resulted in 3 deaths on their side with 2 of them going on the Thresh, mind you, but Jax himself getting a kill back, and I'm not sure that's worth Apollonia.
Know Your Place just pulled off something very, very aggressive. You know, I would say it's also ballsy in a sense, but what they didn't do correct was wait for the minion wave to crash into the tower. Renekton took chunks of damage for literally no reason, and that was just overall really sloppy. I felt that they didn't call their targets as well. If they would have aimed the targets one by one, that would have been good. Or if they had just waited slightly later to pull this off. Now, pulling off so early is going to keep Stormraiders on their toes right now. Was it a good move? It was a good decision, but it wasn't pulled off optimally like what they could have actually done with it. Instead, it backfired on them.
Yeah, because
You know,
even if they killed the Yasuo, he had teleport back, right? So he really comes back without having an XP disadvantage. And the fact that Thresh gets a couple of kills is very, very lucky for Know Your Place. Because if that kill went on Yasuo or that went on Jax, another kill, that would have been really, really difficult for them to deal with. So in a way, I guess the play was not like it didn't work out for them, but it did not go horrible in my opinion because they still, you know, are like okay, they got a kill back, they got first blood on Nectin, so that's something for them at this point. But definitely
Yes.
very ballsy, and like I know it didn't work out, but I really like that they tried for it. You know, we rarely see such kind of plays coming from teams from
Yes.
South Asia. So to see that level of initiative, even though it was not the best executed play, was still very promising, and that's exactly the kind of macro that Know Your Place teammates have, right? And if they build this team further, they're going to be a menace to deal with us as the weeks and months progress.
You see, I love the way that King is playing right now. You know, he's walking around, getting all of that vision. It looks like Syndra will land a stun onto the Renekton, but there's nothing much. Stormraiders, they're looking for ganks and all of that. It's not really... It's not working out, but that's because King, that Renekton, he has been walking around, maintaining his CS, and trying to pull off ganks. We have to... Oh, wow, that's a huge stun back onto King, and is he going all in on Crixus? That's a huge amount of health going.
Yeah, but he's going to
away.
take a lot of trade back in return. But the next time he goes in, that's going to be a really good trade for him. But I do feel it depends on who gets level 6 first. If Renekton gets it first, he can just ult and go and kill them. But if Syndra is the one who gets it first, then it's really going to be difficult for the Renekton to run away, and this is going to be difficult because Renekton does get level 6 first. And
Yes, and accurate, he's one level below from Dragoon. Dragoon is definitely more comfortable on this pick. Dragoon looking to engage onto the Renekton, but Syndra is not level 6. And what is
that's a
happening
nice
here,
flash for Flash right there. It blows and a teleport is also being used, and it's another flash, and Dragoon survives with the skin of his teeth and just so close right there from dying.
Now you can see Stormraiders, they have put their foot down. They don't want to lose this second game. They are doing their best. Not much of a goal difference happening here. And Crixus with the flash in the queue.
That
What
was
was
well
that?
played. Did not anticipate that the Syndra would still be alive right there. Uses the flash Q. She was low on health, makes her own flash count. And Stormraiders now looking a little bit good right now. In the top lane as well. Finally, key to victory, have another gang. There's no flash on the rise, and there's a flash on the Jax. Could this be an opportunity? A teleport being used. But here comes key to victory, the solo kill. Teleport being used from EDX Doc. It's going to be the Ashe. Why is the Ashe top lane against the Jax? If he is up, he's going to die right now. He does not have flash. Key to victory might get baited. No, he won't. Will back down. And this is the individual excellence of this guy. And when your Jax gets 2 kills, Stormraiders starting to look really good right now.
That was perfect for Jax, And oh, that is so unlucky. Leona does get hooked.
Yeah, and there is no flash on them, and that could be another kill, but they'll just have to back away because the tower shots a lot. And Leona's tanky AF, so she survives that. Even blows an ignite for that matter, but she doesn't lose anything else. So I'm guessing that it's not the best. Oh, that's a nice land. Okay, at this point, Syndra's voting Apollonia. It looks like her lost chapter at 7 minutes is back because of that kill, and now she has enough mana and poke to deal with the Renekton. And I feel that's where Syndra also has an advantage in that matchup, right? Because she can use her E at the right time. She can dissuade the Renekton from stunning her, and even if he does try to stun her, there is cleanse on the side of the Syndra to run away. So I feel King might have his work cut out for him as the game progresses, and on the other hand, though, King might be in trouble. There is no ultimate on his side yet. Ultimate being used right there. Dart Dragoon. Oh, his ultimate just lands away at this point, and ultimate being used, and he will survive, but not before Dart Dragoon slays him. And EDL Shock is trying to come in to help, but Storm Raiders 1-6 at 8 minutes. Definitely, the game 1 does not affect them in the least, as they seem to have a nice goal lead heading into game 2.
Wow, you see, this is what I mean. The Renekton in the mid lane against the Syndra is so dodgy to me. I felt that Ryze should have been in the mid lane. Granted that, King did show a lot of presence, but it hasn't been paying off because it's 6-1 right now. Storm Raiders is capitalizing over this mistake that they have made. Jax knows that he's not, like, there's no threat for him. If Xin Chao comes with the Ryze, there's enough time for him to leave. There's not so much lockdown because Ryze only has 1 stun. As opposed to, if a Renekton was top with the Xin Chao, Renekton has a dash twice. Xin Chao can catch up. It's just, I feel that Know Your Place made such a huge mistakes with the allocation of lanes. But, they might show us something that we're not expecting to see.
Yeah.
And Storm Raiders is playing beautifully.
I feel like scaling advantage, you could say, is on the side of Storm Raiders, and you can see Key to Victory just being so relentless. Ruthless, blind aggression is what I would like to call Key of Victory's play. And sometimes it works out when it doesn't get focused, and sometimes it doesn't. So a little bit of a, not gonna say coin flip, but a little bit like variance in terms of how he plays. And I still feel scaling advantage, Yasuo, Jax on the side lane, Gragas to set them up. It does look like, Storm Raiders are in a happy spot right now, because you're ahead in a comp that wants to scale. And on the other hand, yeah, you have the Ashe and the Leona, but the Ryze is really the only massive scaler that they have heading into the mid to late game, right?
Exactly. And
I see a dive happening. Key of Victory gets a stun off. Can he land it? And he does, and he just dives right there. And so the Ryze top lane pick not working out for him, and that's another solo kill coming out right there for Key to Victory. Gets his Jax and makes plays happen. Meanwhile, in the jungle, you can see Cranko accurate running on that. Might be able to get him, and here comes Dragoon from all the way back. I did not see him, but he might be a little bit caught, and here comes Jax as well. Oh, that's Yasuo, and the fight will happen, but not before Syndra dies, but not before also they get Renekton back in the process. They also get Leona, and here comes Storm with a nice flash knock-up to get EDX Shock. EDX Shock does have flash, which he will use to run away, and that's going to be a 1-for-2 at this point, with advantage going to Storm Raiders yet again, and now with no flash, that just could be, a dive happening, but never mind. Storm Raiders decide, what, let's just take the Dragon Mountain is up. It makes sense. We will scale, plating on the mid side, and Storm Raiders are just showing a very, very good show in this game so far.
It's really unfortunate for Know Your Place. You know, they lost 3 members, 2 to 3 members, and they only got 1 kill in return. So Storm Raiders, you know, they're right now. This game is theirs. There's a
Yeah.
Mountain Drake.
But
Know
they
Your Place
actually
managed to
gave it
push
away
them
because of
off.
the pressure they lost, Apollonia. So in
Yeah.
fact, it's Know Your Place who get both the Herald and the Dragon, and that's a really good pickup for them considering they're 3,000 gold behind.
Exactly, you know your place. I felt that they just delegated the lanes wrongly. But in terms of team synergy and how they're playing, Accurate is still really good with the objectives. The team know your place, they follow objectives very, very strongly. Crixus going all in
Trying to
on
1v1,
2DX
that's a
dog.
flash. Crixus has flash himself. Will he go for it? Yes, he does. And my boy Crixus solo kills both solo laners of Know Your Place right there. So
Wow.
if this guy couldn't play mid before, I think he's probably playing better than Tommy at this point. And Akid might be in trouble, has to blow away his flash, which is what he does. A nice flash again being used right there. And Dragoon with the Gragas mechanics coming out, working really well for him. And Storm Raiders again find themselves individual skills, kills coming out right then. So really, Dragoon really upped his game this game. I have to give him credit for this. He's played a massively good game so far.
Yes, Dragoon on this Gragas pick. Very surprising for me because I didn't know what potential he had. But he's definitely a lot more present in this game as opposed to the first game. We also have to take into consideration that Rusty has also picked up his own weight. He is out to prove something. And Crixus, the AD carry, is now a mid laner. He is trying to show up Tommy.
I mean, Termi could
Brilliant
take a lesson
flash
or two
kills.
from the Syndra mid, you know, like he's played fantastic, I feel. You know, both the brothers, they actually sit next to each other in play, so they definitely know what the other is doing at the same time. Oh, that's a nice Ashe ultimate to protect the Yasuo, but a nice hook lands, and in fact, the Renekton might be in trouble, but look at the tankiness that the Renekton has to eventually run away, but not before Key to Victory comes, and a lovely Gragas ultimate, and this is looking like the opposite of game 1, Apollonia, where it's Storm Raiders with the massive advantage, just winning skirmish after skirmish right now, and there's going to be a small pause coming out because DC, that's basically the top laner that Corporal aka Key to Victory disconnected, and I feel like when you have a goal disadvantage going that ham, I guess the plan was great, but they just could not kill off the Yasuo. Renekton did not have enough damage to completely 100-0 the Yasuo right there, and that's not looking well because there's a 7-0-1 Jax on the other side, Apo. And that just is very, very hard for Know Your Place to deal with right now.
Big oof. The
A big
7-0
oof.
Jax.
I love that.
That's a big oof.
That's
Like if I was playing in Know Your Place position right now, it's like they gotta direct their team name to themselves. Because that Jax is huge. He is humongous. 701, 700 goal shutdown. You know, if Rise can get that 700 goal shutdown, that will pretty much, you know, get him back onto an even plane with Jax. But it's still so tough looking at the Rise in the top lane and Renekton in the mid lane. Especially now with Syndra being so thick. Renekton has died a lot, but the CS is still there. So know your place. You know, they have been making mistakes, but they're still trying to come back in different ways possible. But it doesn't look very bright for them because Storm Raiders have been capitalizing on many, many different things. I don't know where the Herald is or how the Herald was utilized, but Herald is on the Sinjao. My bad. So know your place. Can they take this Herald and pop it really soon, before 14 minutes, to get the goal back that they desperately need to turn this game around?
At this point, it's looking difficult because the Ashe is dead, so bot lane is not an option. Mid lane is also not an option since mid lane is dead, and the Zinzao is on the bot side of the map, so I don't think they'll make it in time for the platings. However, they can look to get first plate on the top side if that's what happens. It looks like the Jax is pathing on the bot side, which tells me that this Yasuo might be the one pathing on the top side, and I have to give credit to the individual solo laners and Dragoon. I think the top half of the map definitely showed up their metal for Storm Raiders, with Jax making solo plays, with Gragas making amazing engages and catches, and Syndra just 1v1s the Rise and 1v1s the Renekton like it's nobody's business. So, you know, like individually, Storm Raiders have stepped up massively this game, and I guess that's what it means, right? When they are on even pace, and this team has shown that, you know, they can outplay just about anyone in South Asia. But again, on Know Your Place, right, I feel they should try to slow down the game a little bit, get some farm on the rise because they have a composition that might not be able to win out late, but it's still time for them to make things happen. And this is what I want to ask you, Akko. Like, what do you think Know Your Place have to do at this point to slow down the game and make sure that they do not get snowballed out of control in the next 10 minutes?
They got to find a quick way to group up, and make sure that Stormraiders is spread out so that they can utilize that Rift Herald as of now. The next dragon that is coming up is also an Infernal. If Know Your Place can look to secure that, it will be great for them, because if Stormraiders does get the Infernal, it's going to be insane. It's going to
That's
be
true.
insane.
And look at
Jax
all
is
the
going to
platings
want-
going to the Jax. If this guy was not any fed, he's just getting another 160 gold. Might go back with a Spear of Shojin, might get a Sterak's Gauge, might just get Tiamat. He could get anything he wants at this point. As he's hitting the towers again and again.
Wow, Jax has got big money. He got a number of plates off of top lane, and he got even more in bot lane. This decision to rotate before towers are even knocked down.
Yeah, he
It's
could got
brilliant.
in the first tower, but he chooses not to go for it, looks like. The bot side.
Yeah,
The first
it-
tower is still up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so the tower is still up in top lane, but he decides to rotate to get more plates. I'm guessing that this was a decision that he has made. He
Yeah,
has a
but
lot
he
of
still won't get it.
experience.
Here comes King, though. King has one need to survive, does not use it, smart enough to save that. Key to victory, random mid gank and then goes back. Okay. So I guess the main objective, the first brick is still not down. And that's something Stormraiders will want to capitalize on, and that's something Know Your Place can look to catch them because they know, okay, you know what, the first stars are gonna go down, might be an opportunity, and that's gonna be a Spear of Shojin rush coming from the Jax. The BF's already in his pocket. I think 1,000 more gold and he gets the item. It's gonna be one scary monster to deal with in his team fights.
At this point, I don't think that King can stand up against him. King does not even have an item completed. Doesn't have the
Yeah.
Black Cleaver for that shred. He does take 2 tower shots. I don't know.
I think
for
at
what.
this point the Jax will just jump on him. Knowing how Dead Corporal works, like this guy, if he sees you in Q range, he will Q. That's the kind of guy he is. King smartly decides that it doesn't make sense. And Red Team destroyed the first shot. So top lane finally goes down, but nobody is there to get the gold. So I feel there's a missed opportunity in the first turret gold right there from Stormraiders. But even then, there's nearly a 5,000 gold lead, and the split push has now begun for Stormraiders with the Jax.
Exactly, we see a lot of wards from Know Your Place on the top side of the jungle, but they should be focusing their energy on the bottom side of the map right now. There is less than 1 minute till the Inferno Drake comes up, and that's going to be bad if Stormraiders does secure the Inferno Drake. What is Jax going to become? What is Syndra going to become? And
So
there's
he gets
only...
spotted out right there. So they wanted to use the Herald top, but it looks like Stormraiders see it coming from a mile away. Decide, you know what, give it to them. It doesn't matter if he got first break. But he will need backup eventually because it looks like Know Your Place is just going to go for a second push right now.
Yes, so the Rift Herald has been popped. Right now, it looks like Know Your Place is trying desperately to come back with a plan. I would like to see Stormraiders show their plan a little bit more. Maybe it was to
Oh,
secure
they're
this
getting
Inferno
spotted
Drake.
out so badly. It just feels like this might be cue for Stormraiders to go mid and kill the Renekton. And they will trade the mid outer. They don't even get the top inner. So they will get the mid outer for this if they're able to trade it. And oh, that's going to be a bit of a crazy dive that does not work out for them. No flashes being gone yet, but the next pathway, and you can see already Thresh and Zinzao will be looking to get to each other, and I'm not sure they're gonna go dive with Renekton, or they are, and that's a lot of damage coming out right there. That's a flash being used. I'm not sure that was smart or not, but they will have to run away. It's a nice this thing, and look, the shutdown will finally go to the Rise, and you were right, Apollonia. The Rise now will be back in the game because the dive was just very poorly played from Storm Raiders, and probably the first big mistake of the game so far. And that's a nice, juicy 700 gold bounty that the Rise can get at this point.
That is insane. Wow, I was just talking about how for the Rise to come back on equal playing fields, he would need to take that 700 gold off of Jax, and he did that. So you see, if EDX Dog right now can use his lead and his items and quickly scale That's going to help him in the team fights. They do have Leona, they do have Ash. They can catch people out really quickly. Tommy will play a very important role in terms of his win wall when it comes to team fights as well. 4K, well, slightly less than 4K goal difference is happening. Accurate not having a great time. He doesn't even have his core item as Xin Chao. Stormraiders definitely still has the lead here. But what I feel is that Stormraiders is dragging this out because they want Jax to scale to get that Shojin and for Yasuo to get more core items.
Yeah, and make no mistake, the Ryze got a shutdown, but he's still 2,100 gold behind from the Jax. So there's still no way the Ryze can 1v1 the Jax at this point, and I think till that discrepancy exists, Stormraiders will have their play in what to do around the map. But I think that does slow things down, and I think that's exactly what Know Your Place were looking for. As the mid tower, one of the most important towers in the game, is still up for Know Your Place, and that allows him to really slow down the game. And EDX Doc, though, this could be difficult for him because now there's 4 members of Storm Raiders, and that's going to be Q for them to go back, but not before Yasuo is there as well. And I'm not sure what Dragoon is doing. That's a little bit of a fail this thing, and he will die. No, doesn't matter. He uses his stopper. Yasuo on the other side gets caught. It's a 1-for-1 catch. But it's gonna be Storm Raiders who have an advantage because the inner bot is being pushed and Renekton cannot respond in time. So even though they get the kill on the Yasuo, it's still Storm Raiders who get an inner mid tower. Let's see if they continue or they go back. The call is to go back, and I think it's a tower trade for the timing. And if I Know Your Place, I'll probably take this trade because a tower for tower and an even trade.
Yeah, Know Your Place right now, they still have plans. This is great looking at this brand new team because they're still working towards something. Usually, teams just go into farm mode and they shut off. Know Your Place, they know that they're playing from behind and they are doing their best to go forward. It looks like they're trying to sandwich
They're just
Jax.
they're chasing the Jax massively at this point. And what can Jax do? Die to the tower? That's exactly what he's trying to do. It's a smart play because he does buy time, but not before Ryze comes and gets another kill onto the Jax. So he stayed a little bit longer than he should have, and that's where Know Your Place get another small advantage. And that 5k goal lead suddenly becomes 3.5k in just a matter of a few minutes.
Wow, now Ryze most definitely can finish his second item off with that juicy kill. That is amazing for Ryze. He is definitely back in the game. He can match up a little bit somewhat to Jax, but in a team fight setup, it's going to be good for him. As long as Xin Chao utilizes his ultimate to keep his Ashe safe and the Ryze safe, I feel that that's the best that he can do.
Yeah, the Ryze is now scaling towards his items. A lot of it is just complete, stacking up to 3.5 minutes. At this point, Know Your Place is better off not fighting because I feel with Jax, Yasuo, Syndra, it's going to be really hard for Know Your Place to get a right team fight off. But on the other side, again, split push is also not working out for them because that's twice that E2 went a little too aggressive and died, and he didn't back when he should have. And Termi himself is not ahead in this game. Both the bot lane, in fact, just one item complete on each side, and that's not really a fed AD carry or a fed Yasuo at this point, which is a static shift. So they still need time to come online, but the top laners and the mid laners are definitely already online for Storm Raiders. So if I was them, I would look to probably make more plays happen or just get a vision on Baron, bait them to come there because teleport is up on the side of the Jax.
Right, and I cannot stress enough that EDX Dog right now, he is going to be in a very stressful position from here on out because there is a Jax, Syndra, and Yasuo on the side of Storm Raiders. And knowing the players on these picks, they're really good at jumping in onto the back line.
That's a nice catch coming right there, and they will get him, but not before they get kills back. And that's a nice another damage. And E2 just goes in half. Speed of Shojin being massive for them as they look to just get 4 kills in the side of 1, and Storm Raiders get back the lead that they were slowly giving away. And it's just so difficult. A beautiful teleport at this point. And it's gonna be Q for Baron because Xin Zhao is dead, and the only player left from Know Your Place is going to be the support. So that team fight looked good. The cash was actually not bad, but just the strength overall of this composition with the Jax and the speed of Shojin coming on you, doesn't even have to use flash at this point. That's going to be a 22-minute ban for Storm Raiders, and this is what they need to effectively close down this game in the next 5 minutes. So they didn't initiate it, but it worked out quite well for them, and now Baron goes over to Storm Raiders. I'm not sure how long it's taking for them to get it because there's no drag, there's no this thing on the other side, but finally they will get it.
That was beautiful. Storm Raiders turned that fight around, and I think that was a very poor mistake by Accurate, just randomly engaging there. It was not coordinated at all. Storm Raiders They are looking to try and get dominance over this
They want
Inferno.
to fight this again. But that Dragoon might have bitten off a bit more than he can chew. They did not decide to go for it. I think at the end of the day, it's a smart play because the people from Stormraiders was just not there. So that's a nice pickup back from Noya Place. They get the hook just flashes away. So that's a nice hook coming out from Rusty Radar.
Oh wow, so now the flash is not on the Ashe. You know, if Storm Raiders can identify this, Ashe is going to be very, very vulnerable. Know your place, they're going to play against this Baron buff. It's going to be time for Storm Raiders to start taking objectives, utilizing this buff, all of the benefits. We see it taking place here in the mid lane. The mid tier 1 tower does go to Storm Raiders, and it looks like 4 towers to the side of STR. It's looking good for them. Their goal difference is almost to 10k. It's going to be hard for Know Your Place. If
Yeah,
they can
but they need
capitalize
to
on the
start
mistakes,
splitting right now. They're just
Here we
grouping
go.
as 5. I think they just realize, you know what, guys, we better team fight because we're just winning it outright. So there's no need for us to group anymore. Let's just go as 5, get the tower, brute force our way into Know Your Place's base. And that seems to be the plan right now and working quite well because Know Your Place will get hooked like that and Django falls down. It's a nice play right there and this Jax will go ham onto the Ashe and go steal in the process. On the other side, they are losing the fight because of the Fed Renekton. But here comes the fake Jax. The W does not matter. People literally tagging so much towers gets the shutdown though. And that's just too aggressive and too cocky if I may add. And that's going to be a 3 for 2 at the end of the day. And Know Your Place actually survived that. And that's very, very weird considering how well the team fight started. When my god, King played that team fight massively well.
that was so well done by Renekton. This is the problem with running a Yasuo AD carry. They didn't have the range to take the tower. They got impatient and they dived it. That was actually a downfall for STR. What they should have done was utilize the Syndra's range. Whoever they can put in the damage. Yasuo used the wall defensively. If everyone were to attack that tower along with the Baron buff, they could get it down very quick and then turn the team fight around because they are so fat, plus they have the minions fighting with them.
I think they need to be a little less aggressive with their players because they are quite ahead and they should not bolster this lead. But that's great for Know Your Place. If I was in their place, you know what, kills again, the inhibitor does not go down, Baron is wasted. That means they have another 4 minutes for the Rise to start scaling. He's finished his 2 completed items at this point. Ashe is also getting a second item. So it's good for Know Your Place because it allows them more time to get their items on their carries, which is what they will need if they want to win these team fights. But the Jax just looks very scary at this point, and I'm not sure how they'll be able to deal with the Jax.
I feel that Jack shouldn't be sticking with the team right now. His teleport is going to come up very, very soon. It looks like the perfect time for him to start split pushing a side lane, widen their horizons. They have the Baron buff. They had it just now. They should have played it that way. Utilize the Baron buff with 4-1. Accurate does
Accurate could
dodge
be in
the
trouble
hook.
right now, does have flash mind you, and that's going to be Yasuo being used and Accurate just gets caught on. Meanwhile, Dragoon does the same thing, both junglers hinting off the face of the map. Flies here, trying to do what he can, will run away with his ultimate. So 1 for 1 at the end of the day, but pushing power still in the side of Stormraiders. They will look to get the top inner tower. Another hook lands onto the Rise and he could be using that right there. Here comes Syndra with a nice ulti, but the Thresh is the one who might be in trouble right now. It's a nice E there to prevent the damage. Another hook lands, but that's going to be a shutdown onto the Thresh who didn't die, and key to victory was just too late to ramp up right there. And the hook was there, but the follow-up wasn't, as Know Your Place look to die again. Will they die? The Stormraiders are known to be very aggressive, and they will, because you know what? That's how they are. GA is on the side. There's a nice wind wall, prevents most of Ashe's damage. They will get the bottom in a bit top in a turret, but just these series of trades, the shutdowns that are going on to the right champions, I'm not really sure that's worth it because the goal lead has remained even for the last 5 minutes, and that's going to be a teleport being used by Yasuo, and just to prevent
I think
our. Yeah.
I think that teleport was alright because that ultimately made Storm Raiders win that trade. They did get 1 tower. They did lose lives, but that's okay. And wow, Renekton is going all in onto Termi. Termi is about to die, but here comes Dragoon. King pops the flash. Termi
Oh, it's
comes
a nice
in.
ultimate, but that's not going to be enough. There is no Zonya, or there is Zonya, but King will have to run away at this point. It's going to be a 1 for 2. And that flash does get blown from both the jungler and the miller to get a kill onto the Yasuo. And again, like, you know, King is doing what he can this game. He honestly, after the early game deficit, he's played really well to win most of these team fights. He's the reason why Hamilton is still winning, and you can see another catch happening. This is the power of Leona combination, but here comes Fred, survives, gets a beautiful stun, and just when he thought they were losing the fight, they actually end up winning. Akit goes down, and here comes Jax with key to victory. A double kill and another. Just these team fights. The one who initiates tends to lose. It looks like because that's what happened right here as well. And Stormraiders suddenly get two more kills out of the blue, three more kills all out of the blue, and now this could be cue for them to take the Midland Tower.
What Know Your Place did not identify is that Renekton and Ryze are both the main damage dealers. For them to engage without their main damage, the main source of damage, it was a very, very bad move. On the other side, Thresh, he is fat, and so is Syndra, and they were all there. Basically, Storm Raiders, they know where the damage is coming from, and they're using each opportunity that they can get to win the fights that way. Rusty actually set that up perfectly. He managed to flash out to safety in what we thought would be a clean kill on him. That's what Know Your Place thought, but no, he turned that around. Brilliant play by Rusty. Very, very, very much, because he was suffering with connection problems the previous game, but right now he's back with a vengeance. You can see that he's back, he's mad. Now they have two Infernals. It does not
This
look
could
right
be
for
a
Know Your
jump
Place.
onto Kanko right there. Key to victory trying to go ahead. They get the second Infernal, so that's two Infernals on the side of Storm Raiders. And the smart thing is Know Your Place do get the Scuttle Trap, so they have vision on when Storm Raiders will do Baron. And it looks like they are. This is like, you know what, guys, we are openly invited to come fight us. We know we have a Jax, we know you don't have flashes, and we can win this fight straight up. We'll have to see how well they do it, how well Windwall gets used, and if someone gets caught out or not is going to be the plan of action with the hook that lands onto someone. But it's going to be difficult as Barrel does get one off, and I'm not sure who's going to fight it, but King is just so ahead at this point, and people are running away from the fight. But here goes Leona goes down, Yasuo gets a double kill, not before he dies in the process. Here comes Jack, gets a double kill himself, and that's going to be a 4 for 1 or 4 for 2 at the end of the day. And Dice is going to use his Realm Warp to run away, but so close you land, my friend. You could have run some more 4 further away, but this could be Q for Stormraiders to look to end the game, or can they look to do Baron, because the minions on the side of Stormraiders are killing the inhibitor, the Nexus turrets right now. And that trade was a 4 for 2. And the teleport being used is going to be Q for Stormraiders to finish it off, not before Plexus takes the tower shot, but Key to Victory with his damage should be able to take it. 7 seconds, 5 on the Leona. This could be them just taking the next turn and away, or could this be them trying to take the tower? Something we have to wait and see, because it's going to be very close. I'm not sure if it's more than this point. Just auto the damn Nexus, and that's what they do. And finally, Stormraiders come back with the bang to take away game 2 to tie the series 1-1.
That was amazing. That last fight, it looked like Storm Raiders was going to lose out because of the amount of Baron damage that they were taking. But Know Your Place didn't position themselves well. They also took Baron damage, and Know Your Place event actually just came out of it victorious. They had more items and everything. Good job to Storm Raiders. Now it is the end of the second match of the best of 3. It looks like we are going into a third game. So it's 1 point for both teams. Guys, do stick around. We'll be back very shortly. We're going to have a short break, and the deciding game for the best of 3 will happen in about the next 10 to 15 minutes. So this is the Rift South Asian Championship qualifiers by the Esports Club. Do subscribe to this YouTube channel, and we'll be right back very shortly. I'm Apollonia. I'll see you.
User joined your channel. Sound muted. User left your channel. User joined your channel. Sound resumed.
Championship qualifiers by the Esports Club. I will be one of your shoutcasters. My name is Apollonia, and today with me is Bishi.
What's up, Apollonia? We are in for an amazing series right now. It's tied to 1-1, and now we're in game 3. And I'm excited. Are you for the last game?
Yes, that was, know your place took the first game, and the second game, STR came back stronger. So right now, it's the final match, and it's the deciding game. We see support, the famous Blitzcrank ban, Morgana ban, Akali ban, and Irelia ban. So, oh wow, that's a Yasuo first pick again for Stormraiders. So they want to utilize that Yasuo again, and it's probably going to be Termi on it again, on that
Yeah, and this
Yasuo.
time it's New York place who gets a Syndra, so they do not want the double flex coming out right there from Stormraiders, and in fact, it's them who take the Gragas away as well. So sort of, taking away the picks that won game 2 for Stormraiders, and Malphite on the other side, very clearly showing priority to be taken in this fight. And Dead Corporal decides, you know what, guys, game 2 I was the carry, game 3 let me be the tank, and he just goes Malphite, blocks him straight up. Very interesting.
Yes, that's going to be very advantageous for them once they reach level 6 and throughout the game. One unstoppable force bang is a Yasuo combo. And that's a Nautilus coming in as well that's going to be in the bot lane. This is a team that they are setting up for Yasuo. And if Yasuo does not get fed, that's going to be bad for Stormraiders.
I feel right now, Know Your Place has to draft some level of disengage, and that's exactly what they're trying to do with the Thresh pickup right there, who has a Lantern. But that's gonna be scary, like when you have a Nautilus, Malphite, Yasuo jumping at you. But I feel Stormraiders will need a secondary source of damage here as well. It's gonna be really important for them to have Fury or the mid laner, or perhaps it could be anyone, to do the damage for the team, because Yasuo alone won't be able to 1v5 here, and they'll need some magic damage to round out the composition. So interested to see what they do at this phase. Since they are blue side, the first pick will be again on the side of New York Place, so they can ban out AD carries and then pick the remaining that they can for themselves. If I was Stormraiders here, I'd probably just do not focus on AD carries and look to ban other things, and that's exactly what they're doing, because they do not want all the AD carries to be gone away. And right now it does look like Xayah might go in the hands of EDX Doc, and that could be brutal because there's no other response. There is a Lucian, but if the Lucian gets banned out right here, then that's going to be really difficult for Stormers to pick an ADC right now, because everything else will have just been banned.
Yes, precisely. The Renekton ban, they don't want to see that on the side of Know Your Place, because King played a really good Renekton. Even though they didn't win the last game, he did do very well on it, and he is a threat.
Yes,
Xayah also being banned out. Xayah is going to be the counter for that Malphite Yasuo combo. They don't want that to happen for them.
And they cannot pick the Ashe anymore, because the Ashe is a sitting duck right now in that composition as well. So what does EDX Doc pick for himself? Does his Vayne come out right here? Are we going to see brutality on his way? Oh no, I'd say it's I hype myself up too much right there. This is a very smart pickup, because it'll allow him for disengage and will do a lot of damage himself.
Ezreal is a very safe pick, playing against Malphite Yasuo. Let's hope that the ping difference, doesn't spoil the Ezreal from being able to E away fast enough. And that is a Tristana, beautiful pick to round off the composition. But SCR has to take note that having a Yasuo and Tristana, as well as a Malphite, these champions are only good at level 6 or much later when they scale with their items. And if that's going to be a Tryndamere, SCR
I would go for a Vladimir if it's possible, but let's see what they end up picking. It's a blind pick right now. There we go. Profit talking right here, boys.
Right.
They needed some AP to round it off, and Vladimir is another great pickup. Honestly, a great top lane pickup that just was missing in this composition. And again, a bit of scaling on the side of Stormraiders, but that composition looks lethal right now.
Yes, that Vladimir. I like it, but Stormraiders has to take note that if their early game goes too bad, it's going to take forever for Vladimir, Tristana, and Yasuo to all scale. I'm guessing this is going to be a Malphite jungle, which
It's
is
gonna be a Jace top lane. Okay.
yeah, and I think it's a Malphite jungle, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be Malphite jungle. Dragoon has
Wow.
known to play So he's the one guy in the subcontinent that can pretty much play anything in the jungle. He's played Maokai jungle. He played Mundo jungle before it became meta. Malphite is not something new for him. Having said that, though, his gangs P6 are abysmal. So it's really up to on turn me, Keto Victory, and Crixus to survive the laning phase because aggression and early to mid game definitely on the side of Know Your Place. Initiative on their side as well. So I like what both the comps are doing, but it looks like Stormraiders are playing for the mid to late game, whereas Know Your Places want to get the advantages right off of the lane, get some mid game scaling going 15 minutes once the tier gets stacked from the Israel to take these team fights happening. And like I'm not sure how this will work out, but I like that there's more options right there for Know Your Place to play around. Because if the Jace can get ahead, that could just be the Vladimir getting shut down for what could be like 20 minutes of the game. So I feel as if key to victory will be the key to victory in this game. If he does not get shut down in the early game, there is a huge potential that as the mid game comes with the Vlad and the Yasuo, they will have enough damage to kill the backline or at least kill because there's no hard tank on the side of New York Place. On the other hand, you have a Nautilus and a Malphite. So there's a front line on the side of Stormers. There's no front line as such on the side of New York Place. It's essentially 5 or 4 damage dealers and one sort of a peeler or a initiator, you could say. So, what are your thoughts on both the compositions, Arthur?
So, if Storm Raiders don't buy time for themselves and try to scale or at least pick up fights after level 6, if they start losing pre-6, it's going to be very hard for them to come back and Know Your Place pushes their lead. Know Your Place has an overall comp that works a lot better when it comes to rotating and catching opponents because each champ relatively has good enough CC to allow ganks to be pulled off. Malphite has literally no presence in the early game unless Dragoon can miraculously or unpredictably, like how he always is, find kills along the way through counter ganking. Early to mid game looks really great for Know Your Place, but mid to late game looks good for STR. So let's see which team actually pulls off their plans much better and can identify their strengths and play around it.
I agree completely, and I'm gonna look at the first 7 minutes of the game because that will tell us the great picture. Can New York Place completely win this out? Because if this game goes to the first 5 minutes and you see in lane advantages being made by New York Place and some great gangs from Accurate that can get them ahead, I can see Know Your Place completely snowballing from this composition. This is a team that has a lot of combined experience in how to close out matches, and I feel like if you give them a good enough lead, that they will end before Storm Raiders can look to scale. So I'm not sure if Storm Raiders are gonna be too overconfident in their ability to be able to scale regardless because New York Place, I'm afraid if they get a good lead, like I'm confident in that team that they will be able to completely close it out. So it depends a lot on how the solo laners of Storm Raiders hold out, especially in the top lane, because Keto Victory is known to be an aggressive player, but in this game he has to do the opposite of what he generally does. He has to play safe, he has to farm, be relevant. Once you get level 9, your Q is maxed out. Once you get your 2 serial items, that's when Vladimir starts winning trades. That's when Vladimir starts becoming relevant in lane and in game. So until that point, he's basically just another laner trying to farm up.
Yes, precisely. So, guys, remember this is the final match of the best of 3, the Rift South Asian Championship qualifiers by the Esports Club. Do subscribe to this channel. We're going to stream everything. The winner of this match, the winning team of this qualifier will go on to be in one of the top 2 seats, and the last one, and the person that loses, the team that loses will have another fighting chance to stay in the championship tournament.
To be the third seed from India. So it's not the end of the road for these two teams yet, but definitely winning them will guarantee one either the first or the second seed. That will happen, and just to I think it's going to be an interesting match. I can't wait to watch this.
Yeah. So remember the first game, right? There was a quadra for EDX Dog. So that was really great for him because that was the turning point for them, and that's how Know Your Place won the first game. For the second game, it was Crixus in the mid lane. Usually Crixus is the AD carry, as we can see now. He's on Tristana. But in the second game, he played a mid lane Syndra with Termi on Yasuo in the bot lane. So Crixus was most definitely the MVP for, in my opinion, for the second match. Now this third match, I'm gonna wonder who is it gonna be, because it could come from either side.
Yeah, I have my eyes who do you have your eyes on, Apollonia? And I have to ask this. I'm gonna turn this camera on to you. From Stormraiders, who are you looking to be the main person that might carry them through? And on the other side, who do you see or know your place to do the same thing for them?
I am expecting a lot out of Malphite, Dragoon, because this pick is very ballsy, and I don't know if this Malphite is going to work out for them in the early game. But if he can choose to, put speed farm, put down a lot of vision for his team, keep them safe, have their communication, look for where the Gragas is, and let his team know to avoid ganks from happening, Dragoon would do an amazing job to set up for the mid to late game. I'm also looking at key to victory on Vladimir. So far, I've only seen him on Bruisers, so I'd like to know how this Vladimir pick is going to work out. Nautilus and Tristana bot lane. They just got to scale. We just got to see Rusty pull off, his good ganks and engages. And Termi in the mid lane. I've seen a lot of Termi, so it's definitely Dragoon and Key to Victory that I'm looking out. As for Know Your Place, I want to see how King does with this Syndra pick. Because King was also playing very beefy picks the first two games. Now he's on Syndra. I think Syndra is that gateway champion for players in other roles to show what they're actually about.
Yeah, I mean, she has such good wave clear, right? Even in the early game, she has the ability to just wave clear, has enough peel for herself, burst damage. One of the best mages you can probably take bot and still be safe, and relatively easy to pick up as well. So that's definitely going to be why they get picked. There is phase rush on the Vladimir, so respecting the fact that the Jace might look to take trades, and there's a Klepto on the Jace, so that's going to be interesting as well. As we do see a small pause happening on the side of Stormraiders.
I do hope that Dragoon actually builds damage on the Malphite because he can go tank, it would benefit him a lot. But the instant burst damage, if Dragoon does have one good ulti along with Termi, it's gonna annihilate the whole of Know Your Place.
That's true. One good Vladimir ulti can change the tides of a team fight, but for that he needs 2 items, right? And if he can never get to 2 items, then Know Your Place just have it in the bag. So
exactly, and sorry. One thing that I'm excited about actually is that if EDX Dog and King, if both of them on the Ezreal and Syndra can work their way around getting their items, staying safe, picking up kills here or there, they scale well and they will have an amazing poke game along with Jace. Their strategy is to actually poke STR and look for an opening with the Gragas or a Thresh engage and just completely annihilate one person in Stormraiders. If one person is taken out of Stormraiders comp, it can actually be kind of detrimental for them.
true, and especially if that person is the Yasuo. I feel the
Yeah.
Yasuo is going to be pivotal in this team because if you can kill the Yasuo before anything happens, Stormraiders composition just goes to dust right there. Without the Yasuo, the whole idea of the knockup ceases to exist. And I also feel, while there is poke on the side of Know Your Place, there is a Yasuo wind wall that, if timed correctly, can stop a Syndra ult, can stop a Gragas ult, can stop the Jax, so the Jace EQ, can stop the Ezreal ult as well. So I feel that the wind wall usage from Termi is going to really determine how these team fights play out, because if he times him right and saves one of his carries from the Syndra burst, I feel like that's just old for him to do it. And Syndra does not have a lot of target switching and all except for the tank, because the Vladimir can just look to fool it, the Yasuo can look to wind wall it, and Tristana will probably be away enough that this would not matter. So I'm liking Stormraiders composition in theory, but they have to survive. And that's what we will look to see as Game 3 starts. Remember guys, this is the first semi-final of the Indian Qualifier of the rival South Asia Championship. It's been an amazing series as the series is tied 1-1 with Stormraiders on the blue side and Know Your Place on the red side. The tournament has been organized by the Esports Club. Please do follow their channel and subscribe if you like our content. And now we are in Game 3 Apollonia. Now I cannot wait to see what happens in the first 5 minutes.
Yes, we see everybody taking their place, taking their spot, and it looks like everyone in the side of Know Your Place, they're sticking together in the bush, while Stormraiders is very nicely spread out. It's nice how they're guarding all the entries. Those early wards can completely mess up your jungler's pathing, so it will be really good for Stormraiders if they do catch where the ward is going to be
I sense an
placed.
invade happening, and yep, they will get spotted out. So, This
Wow,
is
is anything actually gonna happen
they
here?
don't
And
want to. They don't want to take any sort of trades, right? Because it's the third game. Any one level one going wrong might just be doom for both of them. And yeah, this looks like standard starts coming out with both the junglers starting on the bot side of the map.
alright, did you see that Ezreal actually managed to proc his Klepto and he got 90 gold off of that? I think
Yeah,
that's a GG.
lucky
Eh,
boy right there. The lucky
that was so
kill.
lucky for him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the advantage of the Ezreal Klepto, right? Even if you're behind in CS, you can essentially be well ahead in gold just through your Klepto procs. And Tristana herself scales massively well into the game, so I do feel that Stormraiders wouldn't mind taking this game later, but the level 1s to 5, right, is going to be determining a lot about how they do it. With level 2 now going on the side of Syndra, will do a QE, misses a little bit. I think landed, but just primarily, and the wave will push massively in favor of the mid lane king. So
So,
far, so good. Oh, never
yeah.
mind that the hook lands, another hook lands, a hook being landed left, right, and center from both the players. You know, Nautilus like, I'm gonna land a hook. Kango's like, I'm gonna land a hook as well, and then both of them like do some damage and run away.
Yeah, it's the battle of, the hooker. Wait, I can't say that. You
Battle of
can't
the
call.
hookers, it's okay.
Well, hookers, it's okay because technically they have hooks, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's dirty minds. It's not us, it's them who think like that. We are just calling them for what they are. Camps at hook.
Wow, and look at this Jace, taking out a chunk of health from key to victory.
Yeah.
EDX Dog looks very comfortable on that Jace pick, and
He
there's a
lands
hook.
another this thing, and this time he has to ignite as well. I'm not sure why the flash was required from Crixus there to survive, but
Kranko
it's gonna
almost
be another
hooked him.
flash being blown.
Yeah, Kranko almost hooked him. I think that was actually a good flash, but it was a dodgy engage from Rusty's side. Looking at Termi against King in the mid lane. King is not happy. He's actually staying relatively healthy, but gotta use a lot of mana to keep himself safe from Termi on that Yasuo.
That aggression though from Stormraiders on the bot side, not afraid to make engages, and Rusty finds himself with two really amazing hooks against SK. It's not something you see often because SK is known to be an amazing player. So the fact that Rusty was able to land those two hooks and get the flash is very, very good for Stormraiders, as they do have a small lead. And on the top side though, Doc has no mana, and I feel these trades might not work out. In the jungle side, oh, Acrid versus Dark Dragoon. The red is on the side of Acrid, which means he could win, but not before Yasuo revolves first, and Acrid will just look to E away. His cooldown is up in a few minutes, and he has to flash out. So that's going to be another small advantage going to Stormraiders with the flash being blown from Acrid.
I think Know Your Place could have played that better. Jay shouldn't have gone in with that engage, especially since Gragas was already on the top side. He could have saved that mana if Gragas was looking for a gank. So far in the early game, it seems that STR is playing a lot better here. Malphite can't show much presence, but he did manage
Look
to
at
be
Rusty
there.
though, like he's so aggressive. I'm like, the guy can just hook you right now, and Kranko also showing immense patience to not let that happen. But this time the hook lands, and the one from Kranko misses, and both the aftershocks proccing, and both the supports just losing around 100 SP each. And Malphite hovering
Right.
on the bot side to make sure that he does not die, because I feel it's jungler's paradise right now, considering how well they're pushing.
Yes, and as I was saying earlier, I do like the fact that Dragoon managed to burn a flash out of Gragas, because a flash on Gragas is like, the moment the flash is up, it can be a guaranteed kill. And the fact that Dragoon took that away from Gragas is going to be great, because it won't be up till all of, like, when everyone on the map will probably be past level 6. So that's a good small piece of a little micro play there. We see Dragon struggling with the Krugs though.
Yeah,
So
he's gonna be
that is
fine
funny.
though. Malphite early game clears are just not good, are they?
That's a big struggle.
Yeah, but I think honestly in the early game, if a Malphite has remained even on CS against a Gragas, who generally has a better clear, and he can go back and get his jungle item, I think that's definitely an advantage to the Malphite, because he's closer to his level 6, which synergizes extremely well with his team. And I feel for now Stormraiders are weathering the early game aggression, and in fact it's them who have the early game advantage in the bot side, as they see themselves having a 300 goal lead that is generated off of a lot. And Dragoon could just die to this greedy player finally smites it and goes back.
I like how the camera just goes directed straight
Yeah.
at
it anticipates, you know what, guys, the kill is happening, the jungler is gonna die, just have a look at it. He even realizes Dragoon's propensity to die and he hovers on that map, but he realizes he has smite at the end of the day, so does survive and come back with his Predator boots. I did not even notice that happening. Predator Malphite. We have some interesting rune setups from Stormraiders in this game.
I am absolutely losing my mind at the fact the camera went over to Dragoon. I was just giggling and laughing as he was speaking. Oh, okay, gotta catch my breath. I like to point out that, because Rusty was playing so aggressive in the bot lane, it has allowed Tristana to have, Crixus on the Tristana to have a huge CS lead earlier, but looks like Ezreal is catching up.
Yeah.
That's good about being aggressive as a support. Kranko, however, he's also actually, doing well too. But this looks like a huge wave that Tristana's gonna eat
once
up.
they collect the wave,
have
that
that great
gold
lead.
will swing back again in favor of Stormraiders. It looks like in the top side, however, the gold deficit is minimal. It's even right now. Vladimir is going to be a happy camper to do that. In the mid lane as well, small lead, but nothing negligible. It's actually even Stevens across the map, except for support, who probably has 150 gold lead at this point. So I like that this game is off to a very slow start compared to our first two games, isn't it? Like, this is like no one's killing, everyone knows the stakes are high, let's just play safe, wait for the right opportunity to win, and here comes Flash, and they get the Yasuo ult as well, a lovely way to survive, but not before the Ignite's last thing gets him, and Yasuo cosplaying Do It Be right there, gets a brilliant gank off in the bot lane to get them bot lane ahead.
Wow, that was so good from Tommy. That roam, that one assist is going to help him a lot. This is
so
why
much pressure.
they played so many knockups and everything. It's all to help Tommy. That's what you call
trust. Look at this. The Malphite is level 6 ultimate being used. You'd think the Malphite would go mid to have the Yasuo, but you know what? Dragoon doesn't play by your rules anymore. Dragoon plays the way he wants to, and he goes top and gets key to victory ahead with the 1-0 lead. And suddenly, Stormraiders found themselves one kill on each side of the map.
That was brilliant. Dragoon is... I like the fact that Dragoon's on this Malphite. I feel that he's actually taking his time to think and slowly plan and figure out what he wants to do, and it's working great in his favor. Gragas, however, burning that early flash, did not look for any gank opportunities in bot, mid, or top. Accurate is not looking good for him.
I have to give
his
credit to
presence.
Rusty as well. In this game, I feel playing against one of the best supports India has ever seen. This guy has made more engages and plays happen. And that's exactly why, why I feel Stormraiders is a team, right? They're just not afraid to make these engagements happen. They are more proactive. They are the reason why they won Lenovo last year. And they're showing in this game as well. They might be out 0-1 in the early game, but they can come back again. And now they have themselves a nice 1,500 goal lead as Dragoon has paused due to ping issues.
Wow, so let's just take a bit of time to look at the scoreboard, all the items and everything. Syndra with the Lost Chapter, that's great sustain for her in the mid lane. I like that Lost Chapter buy. Well, it is standard. It's great for her. Yasuo, I think he has yet to buy his items, especially after he got that
he
one
has
assist.
1,600 gold right now. Probably go back
Yeah.
and get his Zeal and a boot or something like that.
Exactly.
Gold,
And Vladimir, he's ahead now, right? Jace. Jace is going to struggle against this Vladimir, especially with the threat of that Malphite. The fact that Dragoon did not tunnel on only using his ult in unison with Termi on Yasuo, it was good that he decided to get Vladimir a hit. Now, key to victory, he's on Vladimir. Vladimir scales extremely well. Remember how we were speaking about if Yasuo, Tristana, and Vladimir can get a hit, this will be a walk in the park for them.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see where Gragas will look to gank up on, because right now it's been 9 minutes and I haven't seen him gank in any lane so far. He's literally been absent in the game so far, and I'm not sure how that's going to be helpful, because Malphite got a kill in the top side. That's him doing something, but where is the Gragas? What is he doing? Is he helping his cleans get ahead? Because you picked Gragas for the early game, for the mid game ganks, right? And so far we haven't seen anything from him.
Yes, this Ezreal pick to stay safe from Malphite should pay off, and I feel that Gragas should try to put in more resources into that Ezreal so that he can really, pop off and put in that poke damage, as well as Syndra. And it's not looking very good for Know Your Place at this point right now, but if they can pull out a very sneaky engage and basically turn a team fight around to their advantage, it's going to be good for them because they can then start pushing their lead. But for their team comp, things aren't working out the way Know Your Place wants it to be. What?
Oh, that was very close. He doesn't get it though. He doesn't get it. Smited at the nick of time, but that Ezreal hurt hurts a lot. On the other side, I'm not really sure what's happening. And the Malphite just slays Crank out of the blue, but here comes Syndra as well. That's a nice roam this time from Know Your Place where they are here, but here comes Yasuo as well. But a little bit too late. And what was that a teleport on the other side? I'm not sure what he's gonna do. He flashes, he survives, and that's another flash being rolled. Turnme's not done, but he's still back off. And in the end of the day, it's a 1-for-2 in favor. No, it's a 2-for-0 rather in favor of.
Exactly.
No, it's a 1-for-2. Yeah.
This was what they had to do. Pick off. Because they have the Thresh to pick off, they have the Gragas to pick off. They have the damage. If they burst down a target really quickly and make it into a 4v5 situation, it will be good for Know Your Place.
Yeah, Turnme still didn't get to buy. He's gonna go back and finally go to buy now. But
he popped TP for that roam in the bot lane. But good job to Know Your Place for picking up that kill. There was a funny flash burn from the Nautilus, but that's okay as well.
He used Hex Flash, so he was okay right there.
Oh, it was was it a Hex Flash?
He used Flash a few minutes before. Crixus will die 100% right here. Ignite being used, trying to do as much damage as he can. Tries to do a lot, but not before. Oh, he kills him 1v. Oh, that's a brilliant play from Crixus right there. In that 1v2, realizes he can't do much, gets all of the Tristana damage out and trades 1-for-1. And my lord, Crixus showing up huge in this series, Apollon, on that Syndra game and now on that Tristana gets himself a 1-for-1.
Exactly. Ezreal, it was good for him to get that kill. Definitely makes it a little bit more worth, but he shouldn't be dying over there. Along with the Tristana, that was really strange to me. But I like that Ekrit is now trying to secure the Rift Herald along with his mid laner and top laner. Good decisions, you know.
That's a smart decision. Yes.
They should take this and try to get the plates before 14 minutes. They can do it. Everyone has the health and the mana. They should go for it right now. Know Your Place should do something. I'm happy that the first gank that Gragas did in the bot lane was so good and paid off. Please use this Herald and, you know, show Stormraiders who you guys are, even though you guys are like a new team.
True, and this time it's like Stormraiders are inviting them for a gank. Vladimir has flash. I don't think that's exactly what is happening. The Herald being used top to get their Jace ahead, mind you, because they need to get back with some sort of plating and gold leads because they are 1k gold behind, and that's going to be 2 or 3 plating is going on the side of the top lane, and Yasuo is there to help him out. He feels, you know what, my top laner might be in trouble, let me help him out, but he is in a pile of wards, it looks like. It's a lot of brilliant vision from Know Your Place on the side of the blue side, and Rusty will spot one of the pink wards out. They had completely surrendered the top side of the map in favor of getting a dragon, and the plating was used, and the gold does go over to the Jace, who now is still even on gold. So the kill lead that Vladimir had so far becomes irrelevant, but I think the Vladimir is still in a happy place because he's still farming up like a beast.
You know, looking at this and what's happening, there's a little bit of downtime. I have a really lame joke for you.
Go for it. Oh, we might see a gank happening, never mind.
Oh, is the gank? No, nothing's gonna happen. Okay. So, I'm guessing like right now you're looking at Vladimir key to victory. So, who is the key to victory for Vladimir?
Oh, I know this joke. It's Yasuo because he has a key.
It's gonna be.
Wow, I'm such a lol nerd myself, but yeah.
I just had to, and then that name key to victory, I just had to. Oh my gosh. So looking at the vision scores and everything.
Oh, it's a nice flash on the Yasuo, but not before they get the slay. But the teleport is not going to work in favor. Here comes this play, Syndra as well. It's a nice wind wall, but there is no key to victory W. And here comes Turnme, lands the knockdown. Flash is available, has to flash away. And here comes key to victory, takes the Syndra ult, survives, and can Turnme be crazy enough to go against the question, but they did blow flashes, and here comes Thresh, and key to victory might die here, and he does. A shutdown does go over, and Turnme might die too, staying a little more than they should have at this point. Flash is not up. What has happened on the bot side, we don't know for sure. We have to wait and see if the hook lands, and so far it doesn't. It's another brilliant wind wall, and Turnme buying as much time as he can to survive. Another dodge from him. This guy is just saving as much as he can, but at the end of the day, it's not in favor of Stormraiders because they lose 3 people right there. And it's actually Know Your Place who now are sort of evening up the goal. When on the bottom side, you can see that the first tower will go.
Oh, the
A
flash.
being used, an ult being used as well. A flash being traded right there. And Rusty is so aggressive on this Nautilus, finds every opportunity to flash and goes ahead. And even like EDX Dog must be wondering, why is this guy so crazy? Why is he so crazy at this point? And you can see right now Key to Victory trying to channel some things. Has enough damage, but will not be able to finish it off sadly enough. And it looks like, you know, it's going to be first shot going to Stormraiders, and in 15 minutes, Apollonia, the game is even.
Wow, it's just as we thought that Stormraiders was having a lead. Know Your Place completely, changes the tide of fights and everything. This is so unpredictable, It also explains the first two games, like how both teams managed to win one. But now this deciding game, I can't tell who is going to actually win.
Yes.
Because there's moments of brilliance from Stormraiders, and then Know Your Place outsmarts them after that. And it's just this back and forth which makes this game so exciting and thrilling. And we see this Jace just going ham on Key to Victory. He knows that Jace is on his cooldowns. Look at Gragas. We were saying that he wasn't showing himself enough, but he's 203 right now.
He's made up more than how right now. I'm still questioning the pick of the... What's that?
Oh, what? That was the unstoppable force?
Oh, that's just difficult right there. And not sure what the plan is, but again, Malphite just going top and again trying to get the player. Crixus comes in. I'm not sure what Crixus' plan is. Oh, the plan is to kill King. Oh my lord, the brothers, the Khan brothers in that middle lane making a beautiful play happen. That could be the mid tower going down, and Stormraiders look very confident heading into this game as they have a composition that looks to scale, as we said before, and now they made a crucial pick onto the mid lane, and it's the first death for King in this game. And he just did not see it coming. With no flash as well, it was difficult for him.
Can you imagine how amazing? Oh wow, look at that ulti onto the Thresh. He flashes, misses the hook, and that is going to be a clean kill for
Franco
Crixus.
did what he could right there, but this is not enough. Ash will run away, and he does flash away. It's a brilliant thing from him, and a disengage happens and survives. But Rusty might die, or he might not. His Q is up, or is it not? Rusty will look to do as much damage as he can. Not before his AD carry is like, bro, I got you. Like Titanic, he heals him, and he saves him, and he survives.
Like Titanic, he heals him. That actually just made me forget what I had to say. That was one of the best lines I've ever heard in shoutcasting history. Brilliant. So, Tommy and Crixus, I'm just coming to learn that they are real life brothers. And you saw how quick that engage was. The Tristana jumps over the wall, ults the target, and Tommy comes in because of that knockup. Brilliant synergy right there, and I think that is one of Stormraiders' strong points, the fact that they have brothers in their team.
And now they are playing the Dunk Gang with Malphite Predator. Anytime an ultimate's up, expect these five to just group together, kill one person, and take an objective. But that's smart on Cinder to realize, you know what guys, they're gonna get the dragon, there's nothing we can do about it. Let me just go top, let me get a tower back in return, and that's something being traded. So Know Your Place still are trying to take these objectives, and that's a really smart play in my opinion coming out. But it really depends now. Does Stormraiders look to go 4v5? I can see that Malphite hungry for a kill in the mid lane, but not before Syndra herself has rotated and should be fine in this case. But I'm still worried, A wind wall randomly used, I feel, could be used in a more crucial moment, but the mid lane tower finally does go down. Kranko does not have flash. I should just run away at this point. Just ultimate used purely for the tower, it looks like, and they will get the mid-lane tower in return.
Wow. There's so much action filled now. In the early part of the game, nothing much was happening. Actually, it's 18 minutes and it's only 8-6. It's still kind of low considering the previous games where there was a lot more actioning, a lot more deaths, a lot more kills, and whatnot. I like to bring everyone's attention to Vladimir. I think right now he is the fattest, and looking at his score, his CS, Vladimir is doing really, really well.
Yeah, he's online. He's online completely.
Yeah, so like Key to Victory, I've never seen him on a mage kind of pick before, but he's performing very well and definitely one of the main damage dealers in Stormraiders. Now you see, we put a lot of focus on the Malphite and the Yasuo, but the Malphite combo is actually not just for the Yasuo. I like how Stormraiders picked a Vladimir because that CC would allow Vladimir to drop all his damage onto the team. That also gives the space for Tristana to hit from the back. That's what I like about Stormraiders comp. As for know your place right now, how I feel that they should go about things is that the Thresh or the Gragas gets a good catch, or if they do get engaged upon, Thresh and Gragas takes it upon themselves to disengage and displace the whole of STR, and that's a good way on how they can win.
Yeah, there is definitely a play happening on the side of the bottom lane, as is a Malphite ult being used but does not have enough damage to kill them yet. Malphite is looking to tank as much as he can. It's a Zonya being used and Dragoon will die. No, but he actually might just eventually die, and he does, and suddenly a fight now going in favor. I'm not really sure, but that's before the king as well, looking to go. Rusty gets the kill on him. Yasuo comes as well. In this point, it's a 1-for-1 trade, but it's not looking good for Know Your Place as they will be pushed back in this game, and Turkey still has his ultimate to use. It's a flash Q right to get onto the Ezreal, and the Ezreal will die in the process. Rusty's like, you know what, I'm gonna tank for days, and Stormraiders just completely get the kill, 2 kills for themselves, and Rusty is still tanking the tower. And now they will get the bottom lane. It's a brilliantly executed dive right there, and just the decisiveness from Rusty in this game. It's like, you know what, I don't care if he's playing Blitz, when he plays Nautilus as well, his flash Q hooks are mind-blowing, and that has enabled Stormraiders to now get a 5,000 goal lead in a composition that wants to scale. It's definitely advantage to them right now.
Honestly, Rusty has been playing very consistently for all games. He has been there to engage, keep the team safe. Except for the first game. For the past 2 games, Rusty has been playing really well. The first game, it was said that he had net issues, but Rusty is actually making himself known in these games. He hooked the first time to finish off a kill on Syndra. The second time, he flashed to hook to re-engage and win that fight. Mind you, STR actually dove that tower and won, which is strange because it's not that late in the game yet, but it was very well played by them. So good job to STR, and know your place. They gotta buy a little bit more time, and they've gotta kite back. They gotta start poking and understanding how their comp functions.
Yeah, the Jace counter pick right there, I'm not really sure it worked out for them yet, because he got constantly focused. And for once, like you generally see, it's Know Your Place who did great in game 1 to focus top again and again. But since games 2 and 3, they just forgot about top lane. This just let Key to Victory do what he would. And in fact, Dragoon was the one who came and helped him. And when Key to Victory gets help, as he's shown in games 2 and 3, this guy can look to carry as much as any other person. And that's looking scary right now for Know Your Place, because they don't have any answers to that Vladimir split push.
Yes, and we see Rusty being a little bit of a
Oh, they're just
goofball.
starting Baron in front of them.
Yeah, here's a Baron for them. We see STR, they've got an Ocean Drake, a Cloud Drake. Now they want this Baron under their belt. A Predator is turned on. What is going to happen?
They're just trying to bait someone out at this point. Decide, you know what, let's back off. They have Ocean Drake, so they can heal up. They don't even take that much damage. And Dragoon now popping his Predator yet again. Not sure who he's trying to catch right there, but
I feel that this situation is a little bit messy on both sides of the team.
yeah, this is going to be a little difficult, because if they don't get the right engage and keep eating the Baron damage, Stormraiders might not find themselves an advantage. But this is the best way for Know Your Place to come back in the game. And as a Malphite ultimate onto the Thresh, which I feel is a waste, but you know what, they get a kill and nobody dies in the process. Termi comes as well, has to run away. Gragas uses his E to run out, and Rusty is still tanking the tower, tanking the Baron damage. I'm not sure if this is probably not still the right call, because just the support has died, guys. The damage is still alive, and you can see already Gragas is looking for that play to happen, and Key to Victory tanking whatever he can, uses the ultimate, will look to back off. I feel this is not the right Baron call for Stormraiders, and they will surprisingly look to back off right now, but not before they're very low. But look who continues, the Dragon. The Baron's at 4.5k. Storm, these are the guys that, like, we're gonna take it back. And okay, now the Baron has 6k health right now. It is respawning, not looking good for both the teams. Know Your Place with a very cheeky move to get the Baron for themselves. Do not get it, but they have tempo right now. They get the mid lane push, and they should be able to get the mid lane towers. At the end of the day, while Stormraiders do get 1 kill, they might look to lose the mid lane tower, not before Key to Victory uses his teleport rather, just to make sure the tower does not go down. So a lot of series of events going back and forth, but it doesn't look like anyone is gaining anything out of it yet.
Yes, that was, it was a very dicey decisions from both sides of the teams. I felt that they played as though they were very flustered. And I think it's because they kind of know that they're very even. Stormraiders has a little bit more of a lead. Krenko hasn't been able to be hitting the hooks. It's been hard for him. But right now, it looks like it's going to be a gathering. And Know Your Place has to play the poke game with the enemy team. They're going to find ways
I think
to
Stormraiders should just wait for the Vladimir flash. because at this point, if he can get a flash onto the center and just ult with all of the AP that he has, I think he'll be able to just completely demolish these team fights. And again, Stormraiders putting the pedal to the metal. There is a Jace who teleport is not being used. Syndra also being there. Ultimate from Ezreal being used. Where is the Yasuo wind wall? Still not sure. Are they going to 50-50 this? If Accurate steals back, Know Your Place could be back in the game. They're waiting.
Oh.
They're waiting. He comes in again. Does steals the Baron, and that's exactly what you're wondering would happen. And King will die in the process. Here comes Malphite with the ultimate as well. Can they respond with more kills? But no. Know Your Place just has to look to lead. Just peel off and they survive, and that's it. The Baron goes over to Know Your Place. That's exactly what they were looking to get at this point in the game. Stormraiders took a risk and they failed, and Accurate proved clutch right there to take the Baron.
Oh, that was a huge yikes for Dragoon right there, losing out to the smite. He smited so early, and there was like 300 HP left. Accurate just finished it off. Brilliant turn of events, because this is going to help Know Your Place get
Back in the game.
objectives. Exactly. They are a poke composition. Now, these minions can act as the defense that they need. And they can just play that poke game that they are looking to do with this team composition that they have. Now, this is an Edric. It is going to go to the side of Know Your Place. A good pickup, that now they can match Stormraiders' other Cloud Drake that they have as well. So looking at this, Ezreal, he does have his items, not that much damage, but Syndra has a good amount of damage, and she does have a defensive item. I think Syndra looks to stay alive in fights and continue dealing damage over time. As for Vladimir, he's huge right now. I still think that
his Labrador is up.
Yeah, if one Malphite ult hits at least 3 members of Know Your Place, it's the game for SER. They'll just win right off the bat. That's what I feel.
This allows Know Your Place to slow down the game, but like you said, scaling is still on the side of this team, which is crazy right now, with 2 Infinity Edges on the side of the bot and the mid lane with the Rabadons completed as well on the Vladimir. This is not looking good for Know Your Place. Even though they have a reprieve from the Baron, it still does not mean that they are going to come back in the game. It depends a lot on how they look to fight. If they look to disengage the initial ultimates from Stormraiders and then look to siege back again, then yes, they can look to win these team fights. But wow, it will take some really smart mechanical plays or for Stormraiders to exclusively mess up things at this point for SJ to lose a team fight.
Exactly. Wow. So Jace is not having a great time. Throughout
but
the
he
whole
has
game,
items. He still has 2.5 items.
He has items.
He can do damage in team fights. I think that's what matters for them at this
Exactly. But if Jace was ahead, it would change a lot when it comes to his poke and all. But given that there's a Yasuo, he also has to be careful. This Yasuo pick is a very, very big threat to Know Your Place. It looks like they're fighting for vision control in the top side of the jungle. Dragoon just sits on a ward comfortably before he decides to slap it down. I have no clue why. But the Baron buff is still on Know Your Place's side. So I don't know. Now they're playing defensive because SCR is pushing. But they gotta be careful if they make the wrong move.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna wait for the Vladimir to get the towers at this point. He has so much AP that his autos, in fact, will do a lot of damage. But with the Baron minions up on the side of Know Your Place, they can just look to hold off these sieges for a little bit longer. But now Trishan has come with the tower taking ability that she has. And Crixus almost gets caught with the stun and dies, but not before a wind wall gets used by his brother to save him right there. And key to victory as well. Just looking to farm out, probably finish his tower. Look, he's gonna go for an engage right now. He goes to gets the ultimate off, and this time Doc will survive because of his Hex Shrinker right there. But here comes this one again. Rusty trying to get what he can, and no one can kill the Vladimir. Look at him, he's already back to full health. Where will EDX Doc run? He can do what he can, try as he may, but he will die to the force that is the Vladimir. And right now, even though Gragas was there to help him, Stormraiders finally get a pick on the boss side of the map.
Wow, so Jace, he got caught off guard. Right now, I feel that he has to carry his own weight because it's tough. Krenko does land the hook onto Dragoon. He is squishy and he's going to go down. Those are the
Krenko
picks.
gets a kill onto the Malphite though. That's exactly the kind of thing we're looking at. The center ultimate lands. The Zone not being used because he was stuck in the stun right there. Rusty tries to dodge what he can. And they're just not able to break the inner towers, the inhibitor towers, Apollonia. This game is now going longer than it probably should for Storm Raiders, but the towers have still not been broken for them.
This is exhilarating. I mean, Know Your Place has only gotten one tower, one of SCR's tower, but we see Accurate circling around, looking to go onto key to victory, but it's nah, they're just gonna pull out from there. Not a good decision. It's time for them to recollect themselves, figure out what is the next plan of action. So Baron was just freshly taken, and the next dragon that is coming up very, very soon, in less than 1.5 minutes, is the Inferno. Now, whichever team that can get this Inferno, if Know Your Place gets this, it just helps their comp overall a lot better. And
The funny
we
thing is that
saw,
both the dragon and the ban are spawning at the same time. So will that be a trade that they will take, or will they just try to get both? Is the question we'll have to see, because they both spawn at the same time from the looks of it. And I think STR will try to prioritize the Baron at this point, but if Noyopace can steal it again, then we, because the Ezreal is getting fed, okay? Like, I'm not saying he's getting fed, but you don't discount an Ezreal once the game goes later, right? Like, he has 3 items completed. He's no longer just a guy who's not doing damage. He has damage. Syndra has damage. Like, Accurate has Spirit Missile. He's not gonna die anytime soon. And with Hexdrinker on the side of EDX Doc, even he's not gonna die anytime soon. So these warmer combos might not kill Know Your Place, and if they can return back with damage that they are also slowly building up, it's not that straightforward for Esther to just win anymore. So I think they need to push the pedal to the metal ASAP. Otherwise, this could just become a 50-50. At 50 minutes, if this game goes and suddenly one person wins a team fight, and the game could just end at this point.
yes, the thing, SCR definitely has the lead. We can see 5k up. One thing that's great is that Know Your Place, they're keeping very close behind STR. And STR knows this. You can see the scoreboard. You can look at their items and see that Know Your Place is trying really hard. STR at this point, they just gotta group up and find that great fight. Dragoon is the key to this. What was that awkward exchange between Accurate and Tommy? It was just kind of like sup and
Stop, bro. You don't hit me, I don't hit you. You're gonna be okay.
and that Inferno goes to Stormraiders. I think Stormraiders, they should just look to close this game out. Dragoon, look for a good unstoppable force bang. Bang 3 of the, knock up 3
Yeah,
of
I
the
feel like
enemy.
just get the Malphite and the Nautilus to be outside. Actually, they need Nautilus to tank it. Get the Vladimir or someone to be outside. Just ult them and just make them run away. Because the more the guy keeps splitting, it's not like Vladimir is actually taking on the tower. Even with his autos doing a lot of damage, he's not being able to whittle down the tower. He cannot still solo kill the Jace because he has Hexdrinker and his damage is still apparently not high enough. So it's just better for him to just push that wave like he is and just run towards Baron, try to make a catch happen, and then do Baron rather than trying to do Baron and bait them in, because it looks like putting into a 50-50 is not going to be beneficial for Stormraiders. At this point, you just want to take away the clean 100% ban. On the other hand, though, what do you think Know Your Place have to do in this particular space? Because it's looking so hard for them, right? They don't have a team that wins at this point because of the warmer combo and the fact that they're behind. They're playing against a Vladimir Yasuo who's doing so much damage, right? So what do you think Know Your Place have to do to be able to win out these team fights, Apollonia?
Know Your Place, they gotta turtle for a bit and they gotta play the poking game. They gotta keep poking and poking at um keeping themselves apart and poking at Storm Raiders. If they can play their team comp correctly, so let's say we have the Syndra. Syndra should stand on the left and Ezreal should be on the right. And then you gotta have everyone spread out so Malphite has a harder time ulting in. The moment Malphite starts coming closer, everyone straight pokes him, get him low, so that the moment that he tries to ulti, Malphite only outs a few members or at most just the front line. It's a trickier way that Know Your Place has to play with this composition, but it's definitely doable because Kranko on the Thresh, he can stop the engage with his ultimate, the slows and all of that, and his flay. And another thing that is, I think, really important to look at is that as we're going later into the game, everyone is starting to get their items. And sooner or later, the lead that SCR has wouldn't matter so much. So it's almost like kind of like in the position that if STR makes the wrong move during a team fight, they lose. If Know Your Place does not spread themselves out, they lose. So it's kind of like, let's see which team makes a mistake at this point. Like we can see, no one's pushing towers. They're just kind of waiting to see what happens.
True. And at this point, I think the next Baron fight, if it goes in favor of Storm Raiders, could just be GG for them because that's what they need to be able to siege these towers and finish out the game. But Know Your Place have done what they can in spite of the deficit that they had in the early game. They have stuck to their guns. Akred has had a great game beyond his 10 minutes of the game, but can they win this game? Can the Dragons disengage? Can they somehow survive the initial onslaught and then look to re-engage and win these team fights? It'll come down to mechanical plays. It'll come down to picks from the Gragas or the Thresh at this point. But can they
Exactly.
do it is the question. As some
Exactly.
we need to figure out at this point, guys. There's a lot of stake. The team that wins right now cements their place. They will be in the top three of the Rift Rivals championship that we'll have. The one who loses will face a loser of tomorrow's game for the third and the final spot. As we see a resume call happening, Apollo, so I think we'll find out in just a few more minutes who's going to end up winning this game.
Yes, all Storm Raiders has to do is just group up and get a good Malphite unstoppable force right into know your place. I said know your face. Know your place.
I don't mind that name as well. I can probably make one. Know your face, bro.
Know your face.
My logo will be a mirror, something like that.
Oh god. So it looks like they're supposed to be resuming, and yes, there it is. 3, 2, 1. We are
Let's
back
go.
in the game. And the Baron is up. And we can see both sides. They're looking to do the Baron. Jace has his TP, he can split, so does
Let's-
Vladimir.
Yep, we'll have to see who can dance better, Storm Raiders or Know Your Place at this point around Baron, because the team that can just get the right rotation the right time will be helpful. As Tristana picks himself a nice little red buff for himself, 3.5 items. He's also 2000 gold ahead of the enemy AD carry at this point, and people just look to back off right now. Just like people just want to probably get their items in place. I think the Yasuo might complete his Terra stage, which will be a very big pickup from him. Yes, it is. And a pink ward for himself. And Vladimir also just trying to get what he can at this point. And the nice teleport, the nice ultimate stops the recall from Tristana, which will delay it a little bit further as well. And what do you think? What was the build coming out from Vladimir right now? He built himself another needlessly large rod, and he built himself a blasting wonder. I don't think those items make anything except
I think at this point, he's just flexing on everybody.
he just wants AP, right?
Yeah, he just wants AP. He's just like, give me that AP.
Yeah, nearly everyone on the side of the top and the 80 guys are 2000 gold ahead, and they're looking for a play to happen. Akrid does not get caught, survives himself. Gragas is so, he might be a fat guy, but he has some moves, I have to tell you, right? Because even in the game against G2, Mickey X had those moves to survive, and even now, Akrid showing his proficiency on that champion. Rusty, though, might be in a bit of trouble. His hook, his aftershock gets blown right then, and again, they're going for an exact victory. Can they stall it out this time is something we'll have to see. Cranko will take a lot of damage. Rusty also. It's a Malphite ult, and here comes the combination of looking for Doc. Has to run away, and he will take a lot of damage, but Cranko is the one who slays Dragoon. And where is Dragoon at this point? Don't know, but here comes Tristana. It's a lovely QE from Cinder to survive the Crixus engage, and it's still a 2 for 2. The jungle and the AD carry goes down, but the jungle and support goes on for Storm Raiders, and they get an equal win in this game. And God knows, Know Your Place is just playing crazy at this point, man.
Know
They're
Your
able to win
Place?
all these team fights.
They know how their team comp works, and that's great. Right now, I'm not impressed with the ultimates that is coming out from the Malphite, because when he ulted, two of his members were still in the pit as he flashed over the wall. So if Malphite can look for that right ulti, and that is a flash.
Oh,
coming
that's a
into the
flash.
Vladimir.
Can he look to kill the Cinder? The Cinder is the only one with the biggest burst. And here comes a beautiful engage. The Khan brothers are back at it again. And I think this time, with Malphite being up as well, this could be the Baron that Storm Raiders were looking to get for the last 12 minutes of the game, as Termi will look to die. Oh no, he wouldn't. But again, Accurate is there. This guy can steal. Anything can happen. Rusty's there. Can he look to steal again? Not this time. He tried his best. I have to give him credit for that. But Storm Raiders, after 12 minutes, finally get themselves the right Baron. And we have to give credit to Vladimir right there. And to the Tristana to get the Yasuo ult, right? That was beautifully played by Storm Raiders.
Exactly, that was lovely. The Khan brothers, as you call them, Tommy and Crixus, they really made up a lot for what happened after that skirmish. It was a 2 for 2, but then they came back in along with Key to Victory, making it completely an advantage on their side. Key to Victory is just so fat right now, like he's
Yeah, just look
unstoppable.
at that trade. The Jace just goes half health, and Syndra as a key to victory says, you know what, guys, it doesn't even matter. Because I'm just gonna heal everything up. But now they have to play smart. They can't play aggressive. They have the minions. And this is again Noyo Place's opportunity because Stormraiders have proven that they can make mistakes. A nice wind wall. The bot lane inhibitor tower finally goes down. This is the base being broken. Dark Dragoon level 15 on that Malphite building AP Predator as the game goes to a quick pause. But I think this is looking like the end for Noyo Place.
Exactly. Storm Raiders, they finally got that Baron that they wanted. I felt that they could have just ended this game without the Baron buff even. But they can take their own time to get stuff because, it's still not wrong because Yasuo has gotten his Hysterics. And Tristana is extremely fat right now with the IE, the Guardian Angel, Rapid Fire Cannon, and Static Shift, as well as sitting on a Hex Drinker. I think a big mistake that Know Your Place has made is that I don't think there's a Morello. No, there is no Morello on the Syndra.
There's no
When
heal
you're
reduction
against,
anywhere. The Jace
yes,
also
when
does
you're
not have an
against,
executioner's calling at this point, yeah.
yeah, when you're against a Vladimir and someone like Yasuo, Tristana, all of this kind of thing, but the main one is Vladimir. You gotta cut that healing. Even a Bramble Vest would work. Granted, their team wouldn't benefit with a Bramble Vest. An Executioner, like a Mortal Reminder, or Morello will have been enough. Will have sufficed. But what is with that Banshee? That Banshee built on King, I don't understand it. Maybe there's something that I'm not seeing. But I felt that a Morello in place would have been a lot better for Know
The
Your Place.
Banshee was primarily for the Yasuo Malphite engage, but that doesn't help when you don't itemize for the Vladimir at all. Like you just think he's on the side lane, he's not gonna do anything. But when he comes into these team fights and he heals up for all of his damage that you do to him, then there's nothing that you can do, and they will look to get the bottom lane inhibitor as well. And now the focus is on the mid lane, which is also very close to dying. So Know Your Place will have to make their final stand as King is there. Actually, it's a 3 people knock up. That move was
Oh,
not the right thing to do. Well, they get the King back and Syndra dies. And that Thresh Lantern might have saved him, but actually got 3 of them knocked up. And Malphite are still up, mind you. Vladimir are still up. I'm sure he would want to use it once before dying, but it's gonna be Storm Raiders who get the victory after being 0-1 down in this best of 3 series. Get themselves 2-1 up and will secure themselves a spot in the India qualifiers for the Rift South Asian Championship as Keto Victory plays ballsy and dives on the tower. Storm Raiders are one of your 3 participants playing for India in the Rift South Asian Championship. What a great game, Apollonia.
exactly, Bishi. So Storm Raiders, they were champions before and they proved to come out the strongest. Congratulations, they have made it into, like you just mentioned, the first seed of the Rift South Asian Championship by the Esports Club. That was amazing. Good job to Know Your Place. They have gone into the third and fourth seed. They will have a game with tomorrow's losing team. The schedule will be out. All the updates are on the League of Legends India LOL Facebook group. Thank you guys for watching so much. It was great. I am Apollonia, your shoutcaster, and I hope to see y'all tomorrow for the games.
Yep, it's a goodbye for me as well. Stay tuned tomorrow when you will see Super 6 playing versus Reloaded for the second seed for the Rift Championship. So make sure you guys tune in at the same time, 9 p.m. for that stream. But until then, it's a goodbye from me and Apollonia. See you.
See you.
Sound muted.